Facebook.
Yes, sir. Everybody share Walking with Walt. Do I need to put it in the comment right quick?
Mr. Walker, I promise you I'm not leaving you, baby. Just go ahead and go to the Walking with Walt podcast page. You'll see me. I got you.
Yeah. Kimberly Walker says she
Sis
just
is
shared.
on here. Hey, baby.
271. Do I need to do anything? Do I need to do anything besides leave here?
All right, y'all. We checking out. Go to the
Hit
Walking with
what? I
Walt
don't know what you
page.
said
Share
hit.
it.
What am I hitting, 271? Oh, hit that. Oh, in it live. Okay, I thought he was telling me I need to hit something to shift that over. And then I just need to go to my regular page and hit. Oh, okay. So I see Alex right there. So once I hit that, we on it. You heard me?
That was hilarious.
Damn, so I'm on there. 271. I hit that. Oh, dang. That got me moving this thing and all. Where the hell is that? Oh. Oh, hey, I don't think we live because I'm sitting here looking. I don't see it on here.
Yeah.
That's right there. Because I hit that in there.
Hey, listen, because Walt trying to figure this out over here. What's going on, y'all? We are here tonight.
Oh, so that's why I can share.
We are here tonight talking to, when he gets here, you're going to have to call him out by his tardiness like everybody
Hey, check
else.
this out, man. I don't care if you're a
Yo.
candidate for city council. We live in the same Atlanta, baby.
Right.
We had these Negroes on CP time last week, so we can talk this stuff right here. Now, once this brother wins the seat, then we might just say, hey, we got a dignitary coming in tonight, and we know that traffic was
Right.
bad in the city of Atlanta.
Right.
Am I on the right one? Yes, ma'am. You're on the right one, Kimberly Walker. You're on the right one. Right now, we're talking about Mr. Antonio Lewis. We're excited
Hey.
about the brother walking in here. Huh? Hey, how do we sound? Yeah, how do me and Miss Born Thick sound? Do we sound
Yeah,
clear?
can y'all hear us clear? Let us know. Put a comment in the chat.
Yeah, if we're clear, put a
Hey.
comment in the chat. We want to know how good we sound and how good we look.
To smoke and listen. Come on. What you
Oh,
smoking
what
tonight,
you smoking
Mr.
on,
Johnson?
Langston Johnson? Tell me what you smoking on, because I might run upstairs and grab me a nice stogie. Miss Born Thick, we're going to smoke one tonight.
Listen, we keep talking about these shows that we're going to find and doing these cigar bars. We need to go on and put this thing together.
All
Thank
right.
you, Mr. Johnson.
Marquez
He said,
said, yeah, y'all clear.
yeah.
Come on, we got to get everyone here. Yeah, we're ready, man. We're trying to get everybody here. We
Loud
need
and clear.
sponsorship right now. We want everybody to come on. Langston said we're loud and clear.
Yep.
271, we done invested. Y'all don't realize every week we're investing every week
Wait a minute.
in
My
our
boy
show.
been putting in work. And yes, I hear y'all clear and perfect. Come on, Rolex.
Oh, Rolex. Hey, boy. You are clear. Miss Born Thick, you ready?
I've been ready. I came in the door ready. Remember?
271. You know I got to do what I do, 271.
That's the whole purpose
When
of
she
the
walk,
show.
hey, when she walk in the door, 271, she do it every time. What,
So
hey,
listen.
you wouldn't even down here. I was gonna say it. You already knew it was some bull crap, did you?
Listen, this is what I wore to work.
Yeah.
When
Well,
I came in the door, Walk was cool. Walk was comfortable.
I was.
Walk had on some jeans and a nice
Yeah.
button-down shirt. He
Yeah.
saw me in this dress and was like, oh, hell no, I'm going to change clothes.
Yeah.
Why?
Look at my sister.
We
My sister,
good.
my sister out there. Kimberly, what do we every time I'm here, and she say, oh man, I just threw on something.
I did.
271, when she throw on something, dog,
I was
I'm
a
really
little bit
in
more
trouble.
intentional today,
I know.
but I did literally just throw something on.
You have some beautiful lips.
Thank you. That's what he said.
Who the hell is you? Oh, whoever you are. Are you out there right now? Hey, man.
He might be.
If you out there right now, 'cause I know you always texting during the show, man. We calling you out right now. Christian, you right. You look at Rolex. Rolex said, well, okay, let nobody address him.
Nope, he can't.
Rolex, as soon as DJ 271, look, you know who that is, Christian Rolex. You know who that is, man. That Major Payne right there.
Sass said
When-
she just sexy all the time. Thank you, sis. I'm trying to be like my big sister girl.
Yeah, and I tell you, out there,
but
I mean,
it's-
keep on what you got on.
Because you were fine with what you had on.
Yeah, I was fine, but not fine like
Wait.
I'm looking now. I feel fine now. Negro, they like you going out with some Negro pay. They like, hey, bro, we just threw on a little something. You getting
Here
cold.
you go.
You
Here
got
you
a
go with the
you got a
foolishness.
sweatsuit on. These Negroes here got button down, cuff links, and everything.
Sis said
Okay.
you looking good too. See?
Appreciate that, sis. It was a little late, but we still appreciate it now. You told her she was sexy, then you came back with my love. You look good too.
But you her brother.
That's right. I give her that. I give her that. You know, you gotta do that. So,
So look,
Alice,
yes sir.
that's what I was going to
What's
say,
up?
man.
What's
Let's
up?
get ready to jump into this thing. 271, do you have that call-in number loaded up somewhere? So right now, Alice, I'm excited, man, because Antonio Lewis, not only is he a candidate in District 12, this right here has a personal attachment to me also. Even though I don't live in Atlanta 271, this is personal for me because my big brother, my mentor, he is District 12. If you know anything about Pryor Road, you know anything about Zone 3, Derek Bozeman, man, is that zone right there. You see what I'm talking about? You talking about you want to actually win that seat, in my opinion, you damn near gotta get in touch with Derek Bozeman, however you gotta do it. I mean, if you gotta, humble yourself, you gotta go through Derek Bozeman.
Well, it sounds like you opening up the door for him.
I'm talking right now, man. I'm saying, so Antonio Lewis, you need to get here. He's on the line right now, man. And we talked at the game. I told Antonio, bro, I'm gonna reach out to the big homie, man.
Let's do it.
Because Let Us Make Man is doing so much work in his district that he's vying for right now.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm just gonna be brutal.
Go ahead, keep it 1,000.
I've never been one for politics.
Yeah.
I feel like most politicians are liars.
And that's what we're trying to find out tonight.
So that's why I got excited about this show. I actually did my research on some things that he posted on his website about what he's doing with his campaign. So I want him in the hot seat so we can find out if that's really what he plans on doing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Miss Bonthik, you
What's
sitting
up,
next
boss?
to me, you didn't even tell me I left my watch off.
Here we go.
Payne, do I go gold or do I go iPhone? Apple Watch. Gold, yes sir. I'll be right back, y'all.
Y'all see what I gotta do? We in the middle of the show. And
I
this
think
man
our
is
guest is
running
here, Miss Bonthik, he's
upstairs
here.
to get his watch. I got on a whole Apple Watch. His Apple Watch.
He's here.
Right
Our
here.
guest is here.
Is he here?
He's here.
Okay, but my co-host has left me.
Hold
This
on,
is
I
some
think that's our
foolishness.
guest. Look like I saw. Yeah, that's our guest, y'all. He here.
Oh, the man of the
He here,
hour
baby.
is in the building,
Oh,
ladies
we
and
ready to put him on the couch, baby.
He is ready
What's
for
up,
the
baby?
hot seat.
You already got all this Falcon stuff in the house.
Oh, ready. Come on in here.
Oh, we gotta make him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to mic this man up. He's here. I was just talking about him.
And I burnt my Falcon stuff.
Ooh.
Lord, have mercy. Just sit right there. Alex, mic him up, Miss
Hey, look,
Bonthik.
y'all gonna wish y'all mad y'all ain't burn y'all.
No,
Let me get that mic from behind you.
They made a choice.
Hey, boy, I'm telling you this.
Choice, huh?
But, hey, let me tell you this, man. We got Antonio Lewis in here right now, man. This could potentially be the next doggone, not candidate. This could be the next person to represent, I think, man, one of the most historic,
belt on?
powerful
put
districts
it in
in the
your
city of Atlanta, District 12. I was literally
around.
just sitting here talking about Antonio when he walked in. Y'all know how I do, y'all. Y'all know you come to the couch. That's why I want Antonio to come to the couch. You can't do it virtually, baby. You got to feel what goes on in the G spot. We call this spot here the G spot. You can take it however you want to take it. I know this brother right here just talked to somebody who was his coach in high school. Just got off the phone with him, man. No, I just talked to Coach Harper.
Okay, go hard.
And let me just tell you this right here, man. Antonio, what I was saying was I reached out, had Derek Bozeman online. He been waiting on, right?
He has.
He was the first one to come on. Me and you had a conversation the other
was.
night. I was sharing with the audience before you walked in. I said, it's almost impossible to win District 12 without going through Derek Bozeman. And I said, I feel like this was my way, Antonio, of saying to my brother, because I know the work that he's doing. I've been doing my research also. So I know that Antonio Lewis, for all of you guys who don't know him, I'm going to let him introduce himself. But I just want to share something with, we were at the game the other night, man. And Antonio and I, we've been talking virtually. And we walked up, he was just like, hey man, check this out, bro. Good to finally meet you in person. And he caught me so off guard. I'm
Did
sitting
you
here
know who
like,
you was talking
didn't
to?
know who the hell I was talking to. Then I had to step back for a second because he was so genuine.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. So what I was thinking was I asked him a question, he gave me a response, told me something, so now I wanted to surprise him. I'm reaching out right now. Derek Bozeman, I'm telling you right now, man, this brother is in District 12.
Yep.
He's out here putting in work. I told him, I ain't playing around. I don't know what the misconnection is or whatnot. I'm asking Big Brother right now, man. You got Antonio Lewis on the couch. This is what I said, Antonio. You don't get the WAOK with Derek Bozeman. You don't get the Greg Street without actually coming through the Walking with Walt podcast. And y'all might think I'm joking right now. We've already said that. That's a part of our vision, right?
I already know.
I'm a political science major. She said she really doesn't do politics, but I think this is where the balance comes in. What you think?
It's gonna have to be.
Yeah, because I tell folks, politics ain't nothing but conflict. That's what we learned when we went to college, man, at the Alabama State University.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, guess what?
Oh, let me see what my boy
here
got
we
on
go.
right there.
You know, I got so
Good
much
old
Lincoln
Lincoln
gear.
University.
I got so
Okay.
much
Oh.
Lincoln gear on me
Okay.
that, you know, I
Okay.
got married with Lincoln gear on me.
Come on, man.
I proposed to my wife with Lincoln gear.
So,
what I
Antonio,
did was-
that's a
Don't-
great
just
segue right
Don't
there.
let him go
Nah,
upstairs.
you see how he just
He
stopped
did.
me. He ain't
He
gonna stop
did.
me.
No,
But
no,
I'm
no,
telling
what-
you
no,
now,
I was
if he
telling
go
you, I
upstairs,
proposed to my
No, I was
wife.
getting ready to say that's a great segue.
Okay.
I want to segue. No, y'all see how Negro come
Okay.
in trying to take over our show?
Nah.
but honestly, that fits in.
No. I'm telling him that's a great segue. Watch what this
But he
segue
needs
is.
you to allow him to finish his
No,
statement.
no, this is gonna be a segue into the folks who are getting ready to be potential voters right here. Hey man, this man is alumni of a historically black college and university, Lincoln University at that. Hey y'all, not only is he a proud graduate of Lincoln, he's getting ready to tell you a story about how deeply his Lincoln blood runs, and it starts with his proposal to his queen that I saw with him at the game the other night. Go ahead and finish, bro.
Oh yeah, and it go deeper than that. Lincoln saved my life.
Really?
I tell people all the time, Lincoln's the reason why Atlanta's got some black money too. People don't know about that neither. We're gonna go through that too.
Yeah.
But in 2019, I was able to during the Juneteenth parade. Juneteenth has always been a very special day to me. I know since 2018 is when I actually did this. I know since 2019 has been popularized and everybody celebrates, but in 2018 it wasn't as difficult to get afloat in the Juneteenth parade. You ain't need as much money, and so I wanted to surprise my wife and propose to her, but I wanted her to always be able to smile. Like anytime she thinks about a proposal, I want her to be able to smile. I don't care if Beyonce was there.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
You got
That's
a parade.
deep.
Hold on. Don't
Wait a
say.
minute.
I'm already making an inference right here. Did you propose at the parade?
No, I ain't proposed at
Oh,
the parade.
okay,
I
go ahead.
proposed in the parade. You know what I'm saying?
On the float?
No, listen. So
Wait, I want to hear this.
Yeah, I gotta hear this.
So I was looking for a way to propose to my wife, and her family, they were like, because I already asked her dad. You know what I'm saying? She very old. She ain't old school. She's
Traditional.
She's traditional. And she comes from a traditional family.
Okay.
And traditional Savannah family. You know what I'm saying?
With the moss hanging from the trees. and
Dad a
everything.
pastor,
Yeah.
granddad a pastor, great granddad.
Oh yeah,
a
you
pastor.
had to come correct.
And they AME pastors.
All African
So-
Methodist Episcopal in case
You know what I'm
y'all
saying?
don't know.
They Geechee. They
Yeah.
Geechee. My wife Geechee. They ain't never break her family up during slavery. You know what I'm
Come on
saying?
now.
Wow.
So they still have land across the
They
water
still
over
got
there?
land in Savannah. They
Okay.
got land.
What about
called-
South Carolina? Do they have
I mean,
that
South
connection?
Carolina.
Okay,
They got
that's-
land.
yeah,
They
yeah.
got land. They call it. They got land in South Carolina right now.
Gotcha.
Wow.
They are. You know, they AME. That was the church all us came out of. So-
Richard Allen. That's
Yeah,
that Richard
so,
Allen right there. Yes, sir.
the Fogel clan. That's what they call themselves. The
Fogel
Fogel
clan.
clan in Florida. But in Savannah. But I wanted to propose to her, and I wanted to do it the right way. I wanted her to always be able to talk about it. I don't care who was there. And Beyonce was. If she was ever to sit in a room with Beyonce or Michelle Obama, I wanted her to know, even though my husband didn't have as much money, the intent that he put into it was. It was worth whatever kind of money they had.
Wow.
And so what I did was I was looking for ways to do it, and I'm a flower guy. And so every Friday of our relationship, I've gotten her flowers. Every Friday. For about 2 months, 3 months, I didn't get any flowers. I didn't get her flowers so much, she started buying herself flowers, right? And
Was
I
this a
just-
part of the plan?
Part of the plan.
Okay.
Because
I
in
was
my
looking
head,
at a
I'm
way to
looking
do
like,
it, right?
wait.
Yeah,
so-
he was going good.
I know
at
if I
first.
started
Yeah,
asking
I'm
questions,
a
I know
flower
she
guy,
looking
right?
like, what my
So
flowers
she's
at?
like, well, I seen her buy her own flowers. I would laugh because I seen her buying herself flowers because she had become accustomed to flowers, right?
Right.
I reached out to all her friends, law school friends or friends in Savannah, friends from everybody she knew, all my friends as well. I invited them to town for Juneteenth, for the Juneteenth parade. I told my wife I was going to be working the Juneteenth parade, told her I was going to be taking photos.
Yeah.
So I needed her to stand in a specific space.
I love it.
I mean, it's the thought for me.
Oh,
The
dude.
effort that you put into this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
You
I'm about
made
to
the
bring
rough
you in
on
with the
you
flowers.
made the rough on brothers
Man,
out
you
here.
just
These
listen.
days.
You about to make it hard
was
for a
growing
lot of
flowers.
people.
So like what I did was I didn't buy her flowers. Her favorite flower is a tulip. I
Okay.
had all of her friends go get tulips. And I went and bought a whole bunch of tulips as well. And so I had her stand in the parade, and during the entire parade, people were walking up giving her flowers. Based on like, do you know her or does she know you? So like first who came up was my friends, the ones she had never met. Like I had a friend who flew in from, we had folks that flew in from New York, folks that flew in from Missouri.
And I'm
so
sure she was looking like, who are these random people?
giving her flowers.
Right.
She got so many flowers that one of the people sitting behind her, a parade bystander, was like, "Hey, why are you getting flowers? Is your birthday?" Said,
So she had not even thought about
She
it.
had no
at first.
idea.
And my wife, and she was like, "I think a man about to propose to you." My wife was like, "Ain't nobody propose. My man ain't doing that. My man working." And that's recorded, right? So we recorded her saying like, "My man working. He ain't proposing to me today." And so by the time some folks got there that she knew, she just burst out crying.
Oh.
And I was on the float, and the float got up to her, and I got off the float, walked over, proposed to her. We got on the float, finished out the parade. It was the first year they moved it to the Georgia Dome. I still call it the Dome. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz.
Backyard.
I'm be honest,
Home
I
Depot
just call it the
backyard.
Dome too.
Yeah,
I
me
hadn't even
too.
started calling it Mercedes.
They don't try-
It don't
People
sound
from
right.
Atlanta still call
say
it
the
the Dome.
Dome.
Hey, I still call it over there where Georgia State played, the Fulton County Stadium. Even though they tore that down, and Georgia
Yeah.
State is at that, what they call the
I still
Hank
call it-
Aaron thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
call
they-
it Turner Field. My
Yeah.
bad.
See, but see, that's you're a little younger though. I'm saying you remember Fulton County Stadium right on Georgia
Both of
Avenue.
them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mainly remember Turner Field.
Yeah.
I remember when they changed it to Turner Field.
I was hurt, man. 'Cause we used to go to the old stadium, man, and sneak in the game.
And
They
it-
didn't have real security back then, boy. You
I
sneak in
remember
there.
that
Nah, you
time.
can't
Yeah.
do that now though.
Yeah, no, you doing it now.
But I remember, and I also rented out the restaurant we had our first date at. So immediately after we left the parade, we went to Tom, Dick, and Hank.
The one right over there on Abernathy?
Man, God is good. That's our first date.
I mean, on what's
Wow.
called, on what's called, because Abernathy is the one that go that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Mechanicville.
yeah,
That's the one
rented
we
it
go
out,
to all
and
the time.
We had it decorated for
Did y'all
our
go on top of
engagement
Antonio?
party. For our first date, we did. For the engagement party, I ain't told you I ain't had no money like that, so they ain't give me that. They ain't give me that Tom, Dick, and Hank. They gave me the other one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they still looked out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I told them,
Yeah.
I was like, look, I ain't got money like that. What I want to do is, my friends, they going to spend money. I told my friends, I said,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
we going to spend, ain't nobody going to play. we going to have fun. We gonna, I just want to propose to my wife. And he let me have the entire restaurant pretty much for free.
Wow.
My sister
never
said
met
so
me. He
sweet,
had never
Antonio.
met me.
My sister said so sweet. Christian Rolex said, my boy Antonio.
Right.
Rolex work with you too?
So
yeah,
listen,
Rolex.
he giving y'all some ideas out here. I need y'all men to pay attention,
You
please.
can have that.
Hey y'all, if y'all watching this right here, man, I want y'all to know when you just saw Antonio's mentee, Christian Rolex, who's also one of my mentees and Brothers Building Up Brothers. Isn't this crazy how our world is just starting to overlap?
Yeah.
And Tyrese came up to the school today. The brother was so clean.
I'm mad at him. I ain't seen him. I
You know
seen
what?
all my other teams.
He's
I ain't-
running. He's running just like his mentor. He's running for Mr. Freshman over at Clark Atlanta.
I
No,
believe it.
he running for a freshman class president. Not
Oh, he's running for freshman class president.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds like Tyrese.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That
guess what he
sounds
said
just like
though? Now
Tyrese.
this how we're gonna jump right on into the hot seat right here. He said, hey y'all, I need y'all to know who Antonio Lewis is. He's gonna be the city councilman for District 12. He said, I need you to know who I am also because when he leaves that seat, I'm gonna run for that
I'm
same
taking
seat.
over.
He said that?
He said that today, man, to my class. That's what he said.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro, he
He
already
speaks
said that.
so highly.
Oh,
of
my
him.
highly.
God,
So
I
when
didn't know
I
he said
first,
that.
I remember Antonio, y'all. This how involved he is. Antonio would be during virtual education. Antonio would come into my classroom virtually or whatnot, shout out the kids, and I don't even think they knew at the time that Organized and Mobilized. That's the young people he works with. Organized and Mobilized, they were already starting to get this snowball rolling.
Right.
Right? And these young people right here, they love what you're doing, man. So I want the people out there to know that I'm not bringing anybody here to sit on the couch. I could have
No.
done virtual if you're somebody who just want to talk to the people. But Antonio, I'm so proud of what you're doing, man. And I want anybody there who don't know him, call in, y'all. It's not scripted. Everything that's going on right now, Antonio doesn't know the question we're gonna ask. So we'll start out. We said we want to get kind of.
I ain't nervous neither. I'm gonna let you know that I ain't nervous
You
neither.
Hey,
didn't
man.
come in the door like you were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all know I ain't nervous at all. We
Hey
have
man,
fun.
He's-
the man is homegrown. He's
He
from that
is.
zone, and he can
He
hold his own.
Which is why you can't be nervous whenever you're talking to folks.
That's right.
Because everything we talking about, I done been through and ain't
Yeah.
none of it changed. My favorite quote on the doors is, the same cracks in the streets that was there when I was 12. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we got $148 million about to come into Atlanta for infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? They gonna do the same thing with the money.
Right.
Before we go into these questions, I want to let y'all know, do you give money back to Uncle Sam? When the federal government give you money, do you give it back?
You mean when they give us our return money?
If they give you some money.
I'm not giving anything back.
Intentionally. If they
Not
intentionally
intentionally.
give you some money.
Even
they
if they
say-
I ain't
They
unintentionally.
say, hey,
volunteering
look,
nothing.
Then they say, hey, the only way you got to give it back is if you can't spend it.
Don't tell me you finna start talking about these folks who don't spend the money. We have to end up giving money back
The
every
city
year.
of Atlanta, they give money back every year.
Hey man, y'all heard it right
They
here.
ain't
This is-
spending money. I ain't never gave back no money,
Antonio,
man.
I'm just saying right now, I would just say, man, this is one of the candidates who will be vying for a District 12 seat. His name is Antonio Lewis. I just want to get one thing from him before we jump in these questions.
Go ahead.
When Antonio Lewis becomes the city councilman for District 12, can we get you back in here on the couch?
I'm coming through.
Okay, that's what we want to know because I want to make sure, you know.
But none of this stuff works. Listen, if we call ourselves grassroots organizers, right?
Yes.
I'm grassroots and grass tops because I
Yes.
work for the labor unions. I understand them both.
I was going to ask, that was one of my
You get
questions.
too many people who only understand grassroots,
Yes.
and the other people only understand grass tops. You know I'm grassroots because I'm in high school.
That's right.
And I want you to know I'm communications coordinator for the largest labor union in the AFL-CIO, so I'm grass tops as it gets too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand them both. And none of this stuff works if I don't come back to the couch. You know what I'm saying?
Does it make sense? So y'all, hey, this is what I want to talk about first and foremost, man. I know if he's sitting on the couch, I need to know, man. We said we're gonna do some icebreakers, right?
We said we was gonna do 'em.
Hey, are you a chess man or a checker
checkers.
man?
Listen, I play chess. Listen, I got a quote. I got a quote. You know how people say it's chess, not checkers, right?
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I
yeah.
ask them? Can you play chess?
Everybody don't know how to play chess.
Yeah,
So don't say that to me.
yeah,
And I don't believe it's hard for me to believe anything you say after you said that.
yes.
Because you already talking about stuff you don't know nothing
You don't even
about.
understand.
You don't even
See,
know
this-
nothing
hey,
about it.
Wait a minute. That reminds me of somebody else. What's the quote 271 about? If you ain't read at least 500 books, you just talking. That sound like somebody else we know.
Don't
Talking.
jump out here. I already tell you, all my students who on here, y'all know this. Anybody who's been in my space, if you have not read at least 500 books, you're not debating me. I'm debating. You're talking. So what he just said, if you've never learned to play this game called chess, don't use that quote about chess, not checkers or whatnot. Learn to play chess first, then it makes sense because it's not a game, Ms. Boy, that you're trying to move around the board fast and swiftly
Right.
like you do with checkers.
Checkers.
But there's another game I want us to learn how to play called Go. It's a Chinese game called Go.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we gotta learn that, Tony. Yo, they say that game right there is more ruthless than chess.
Man, I've been waiting to talk to you.
I've been waiting to get on. Hey, man, I've been waiting. Have we been waiting?
Oh, yeah.
I even have,
We
hey, I
have.
even have Miss Bowen Thick to call our future city councilman, ask him how he was dressed. Hey, y'all, I didn't know. I didn't want him to
And I
step
ain't
in
want
here.
you, so when I called, he didn't answer, so I sent him a text
I
message.
called right back
I hope
before-
you didn't feel weird when I sent you
I
that
didn't
message.
even read the text. I called you right back first.
Oh,
And then I
okay.
read the text after you
Yeah.
called you back.
Yeah.
So let's get here, man. I want to go here for a second, Antonio. I work in the district that you are buying for right now. And one of the things that I said I want to talk about, because I would be wrong if I didn't do this for the people of District 12 right here. 271, I'm in the school. And every doggone year since I've been at South Atlanta, when it rains real hard, that road floods. Like literally, I know they said they did some work on it. That road still floods where cars get stuck right there. Buses have to turn around and go all the way back around. And if you're a new teacher, Antonio, if you're a new teacher at our
don't know
school,
nothing about
you don't even know how to get back to the school because you're not going to take a chance getting stuck in the water.
Nope.
So if that's the case with grown people, what about students who live right there? If they're walking to school, it doesn't mean that they didn't want to come to school. I'm not walking through that thing in these nice boots I got on right here.
No, I
To
mean,
make sure these folks see
He,
that.
he pulled
I'm
out his
not-
boots.
yeah, I'm
Wait,
not
they
letting
only
y'all-
see the bottom.
Oh, they
though.
got to see the bottom.
You gotta
we
go.
gonna do that
Oh.
thing, 271. Yeah, I'm not walking through the rain in the water with these on 271. No, sir, we're not walking through the rain with that on right there.
You are
These are
retarded.
some Walker specials right here, straight out of Mexico. My Mexican
Yeah.
students at South Atlanta, I don't know if y'all can see that. Shouts out to my Mexican students, man. They brought me these straight from Mexico, Miss Bornthik. When
I
you're making
never
a
knew
difference,
that.
that's why I'm saying, yeah,
Oh,
these
no, they
came straight
take
out of.
care of you.
That's
One
right.
thing about it, two things for certain, like people from our community, they take care of
That's
you,
right.
Because
I
they be
see.
loyal. They be loyal.
I see that,
It's deeper
'cause,
than just.
So this
It's
takes us to the question I want to ask Antonio. He was just talking to us about this money that we give back every year. Antonio, why is it that it seems that when it comes to our schools and our children, this has been a problem that's going on for, I've been there about 10 years.
Yep.
This is the same problem. So I asked the students this right here. Who is the city council person for this district? I teach government. Nobody knew who the city council person was for the district.
She's okay with that.
And that's what I
prefers it
try to
that
tell
way.
them. But guess what? Who they thought it was?
Oh.
Antonio Lewis. I said,
That's
no,
a good
he's
thing.
And
no,
I
that's
would
a
have got
great
the
thing.
blame for it
So-
too. I'm letting you know that.
So here's the thing I want to ask you, Antonio. When you get in here, because these kids already know you, they're going to be a part of that next group of voters or whatnot.
That was gonna be my
How
question.
do we actually get into the schools? Because I need you to come into my classroom. I think government, and I want your opinion on this too, so it's twofold thing. How do we get you, once you're seated in, like in the city council, to let the city, as well as the school system, because these things are,
We need
they
it.
overlap.
Yeah.
We all complain about the same complaint.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's exactly
I had
right.
a meeting yesterday about this, right? And they looked at me like I was crazy, right? Because You say you've been there 10 years, right?
It had to be somewhere
I
near that.
graduated 2005, so let's say
might have been
2001. So
might have
that's
been
20 years.
15 years.
A 20-year period. We're gonna add in 20 years.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I walked through that same water. You know what I'm saying? We used to have
Wow.
basketball practice, so I used to have my socks. You just made me remember. You know the soaking
Yeah,
socks,
yeah,
where
yeah.
they in your feet. Man, my grandma used to hate the way my feet.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I would
saying?
have too.
But exactly. But I remember, and right now, here's the difference. Back then, we didn't do nothing about it. Right now, there's some stuff that we gonna talk about doing about it. But there's actually some students on campus right now. Young Anthony Mitchell. He runs a program called Wave Ways, and the program.
Anthony
is
the
actually,
twin? He got a sister.
He's literally running
yeah.
a program. I just got a call from the other day. He's running a program that's studying why do we have that flood right there.
Come on.
And
now.
so he's trying to find out ways in which he's actually working with like private partners in which they're trying to infuse some money into his study. See, that's what we got to do. We got to empower people like young Anthony, because those are the folks going to fix it.
So let me ask this though, because we didn't address certain issues like this back then because we weren't educated on it.
Yep.
We weren't, the word you just used, we weren't empowered to do certain things. We were told, go to school, graduate, get a good job,
Get out the way.
get out
Take
the
care
way.
of your family.
Right. So now you have so many platforms, you have social media, you have kids who are now paying attention to the things that are going on around them. When we were kids, we lived as kids. That was our avenue. We had a lane, we stayed in it. And if you got out of it, you got knocked back into it.
We have the most literate black kid. We're the most literate black people in the history of the planet. That's why we got the world screaming Black Lives Matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're the most literate. You want to hide something from her, put it in a book.
Put it in a book.
But they don't. What'd you say? You can't compete with you unless you read how many?
500 books at
So I'm
least.
telling you, that's how black folk walk around here moving. So now we done read the books. They done hid it from us in the books, and we teaching it to the students.
Yes.
And so the students, like we the gap generation, that's real.
Yeah, we are.
It's here. It doesn't
Yes,
happen.
yes.
Like when you got the world, even having people debate, we just had treason happen in America. For the first time since the Civil War, we done had the Confederate flag flown in our nation's capital.
Did you? And then some people have the audacity to say that wasn't treason.
That was treason.
That's treason.
You know
at
what?
its
I
highest
reached out to
level.
my mentor who tells me, if you ain't read them in the books, you can't talk to me too. He tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
But I reached out to him, and what he told me is that strong black man, historian, studied across the ponds. That's what they always say. So, you know, he studied across the water.
Yes,
Old
yes,
scholar.
yes.
Y'all, he said, man, he said if they were black, they would have died. He said, but it's treason, they should all die.
Yes.
He said not one of them should have made it out of the Capitol.
That's
Once
right.
you breach the Capitol, you die. And that's the way our country is just, I don't know if they talk to you about how much I carry the United States American flag.
No.
I'm not a soldier. I wasn't in the military. I carry the flag because I understand the promise that it represents.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I understand what it's supposed to, the ideals of what the flag represents. The flag is what we got to grab. See, think about this right here. No matter what people do with flags, people gang bang with flags, right?
Right.
Because the flag is important. Colors mean
What it
something.
what it
Flags mean
represents.
something. When we went to the moon, when we were racing to the moon, what were we trying to do? Who was
Plant the
trying to do
flag.
first?
Hey,
Plant the
plant the
flag
flag
first.
first, yes.
So we got to grab that flag. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that flag more ours than it is theirs. That's why they walked in the Capitol with the other flag.
Wow.
I tell people all the time, your ancestors carried the other one. I know mine carried this one. Because guess what? I went to Lincoln University.
Wow.
My university was founded by the only university in the world founded by Civil War veterans. You know what I'm saying? We paid for this. And the school that was right up the street was founded by the other side, Confederate sympathizers.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So,
What school is right up the street from you guys?
University of Missouri.
Oh, so we got the Missouri Compromise and all this stuff
All that
all
stuff.
being played out right there.
Right there.
I never knew
Right
that.
there in the middle. And then
So
they fought.
Lincoln
They
is.
less than 30 minutes away.
Come on,
Wow.
man.
What if I tell you that Lincoln University used to own so much land that we used to own the land that the governor's mansion sat on, and now we sold it to the state to become a land grant university, because you know that land grant means basically you're good for a lifetime.
Yes.
But then the federal government, they gave something called land grant funding to each state, but they gave it to the PWI. They gave it to the
So I
Confederate
think Dr.
sympathizers.
King was arguing
extension office in Fulton County. There are Missouri 139 counties. I don't want to be wrong about the state of Georgia. There are 100+ counties in the state of Georgia. Fort Valley is in 35. University of Georgia is in all of them. Or I'm gonna give
Wait a minute, I gotta read this comment, not to cut you off. She said, "My future husband better bring it."
She talking about you. She talking about you, brother.
No,
that's
my
his sister.
She talking about
Hey,
you.
he's married.
taking,
Oh,
darling.
she said no. She said her future husband.
Oh,
better
okay,
bring whoever her
okay,
future husband
okay. I was
is.
about to say, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, she know that because she commented and said that was so sweet when he was saying what he said. Hey, let's get this thing right, y'all. Hey, we got these comments coming on here.
We don't need nobody get in trouble when they get hold of that.
No, I get what you're saying. Now,
Nah.
the crime of betraying one. Somebody said the crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. So, Antonio, this is the question. You said Fort Valley is in 35.
I want to be. Since
Roughly.
I'm not accurate on
Yeah,
numbers,
yeah.
I'm gonna be more. I'm gonna speak in numbers.
Okay.
To give an accurate description of what it would be. So let's say if there are 100 counties in the state of Georgia, Fort Valley would be in 35. University of Georgia would be in all 100.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it even more credence to them. Let's say Fort Valley's in 50, but University is in 100. University of Georgia is in 100.
Yeah.
Why isn't Fort Valley in all of them? You know what I'm saying?
I got
so, and here are the counties that Fort Valley isn't in, though. They ain't in Fulton County. They ain't in Clay County.
Wow.
They ain't in DeKalb County. They're in the black counties, right?
Yep, the ones that, if you're going to win the election, everybody who's won the elections in the last few cycles,
Ain't
we
about
waiting on the votes in DeKalb. No, I'm just saying, but because that's where the black, population is.
It's about food, everything
Yes.
in the world. The schools were built on the agriculture. When we call ourselves agriculture schools, that's the flagship school of the state, right?
Yes.
All of the money from the school came from agriculture money. To be more specific, University of Missouri they were in debt, when the Civil War, when Lincoln University became an agriculture school. The University of Missouri was probably $100,000 in debt. Lincoln University had $7,000, had 29 degree programs. You know what I'm saying? We had University of Missouri didn't even have degree programs. Why is it that they were able to grow like this when we weren't? The federal government gives matching dollar. They give you a matching dollar. They give matching dollars, right? So let's say if they say, hey, you deserve $20 million. Brother Walt, Fort Valley State deserves $20 million, right? But University of Georgia deserves $20 million too. They give the whole $40 million to University of Georgia. University of Georgia decides how much Fort Valley State gonna get.
So University of Georgia, is that because of the University of Georgia
That's how it started.
system, or is it the university who's in control of that?
It was the university. So look, that's how it started. Then they changed it, right? So then they changed it to saying, hey, the state, because the state decides how much money they're going to match per school. The state is the one who gets to make that decision.
Yes.
So the state, if the federal government sends $40 million to the state of Georgia for those two schools to split up, they don't let them split them up. One school pays for the small farmers. One school pays for the large farmers. University of Georgia's job is to take care of large farmers. University of Fort Valley State's job is to take care of small farmers.
Yep.
That's how they split it up, right? So the money, the state of Georgia has to match dollar for dollar what the federal government sends in. If they don't match it, got to send it back. And so they match dollar for dollar every year since 1890 for University of Georgia. Since 1862, they've matched dollar for dollar, sometimes 13 to 1. The Fort Valley State University has to sign a waiver every single year to say that, hey, I don't want 50% of my money. You can keep it. And then the state of Georgia gets to decide how much, up to 50% of their money, they're going to match. For a lot of years, they probably match $100,000. And Fort Valley's forced to deal with the entire state of Georgia, small farmers, on $200,000 while University of Georgia been getting the bankroll. In Missouri, they built their football stadium off that money. You know how they did it? The agriculture money also brought in the ROTC department. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff came from agriculture. We make our clothes from agriculture. So we got to get our money. And for those students I took on the HBCU tour, I don't know if they mentioned this to y'all. When we was at Tennessee State University, they got $454 million. It was the repayment of their agriculture money. In Maryland, they just got $711 million, all the HBCUs up there, because the University of Maryland was copying their programs. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask this, because I heard something last year about TSU giving full rides to students who were going in under agricultural majors. Is that where that came from?
All along get it, but that is, I'm gonna tell you what changed. They should have been always doing it. Imagine some stuff always exists, you just can't even get it. And you can't even say nothing about it. You know why?
There's a
you're
caveat
not
to that,
supposed to
though.
know.
There's
No,
a
guess who
caveat to
signs your
that.
paycheck? The governor. So you work for the federal, you are already a state school, right?
Yes.
The governor signs your paycheck, you negotiate with the governor for your stuff, and he gets to decide how much money you get. The PWI, University of Georgia, can't even sign that waiver that Fort Valley State can sign. You can't even sign it. You can't even say, I don't want you to give me all my money. They got to give you all your money. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, you know, if you got kids, right? You treat your kid, if I'm the outside parent, I send him my child support to the house. They get an equal amount. You giving this boy his whole check. You giving this boy, this young man right here, some of his check sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the state of Georgia now is giving a full match to Fort Valley State University, but guess what they didn't do? Go back. You gotta go back. We want our
We
old
want a
stuff.
retro.
We want all of it. We
That's
want
right.
all
Yeah.
our money back.
So is that something that, like, legislation that we need to be pushing for right now at the
Yes.
state
Like, how
capitol?
can we
Yes.
help that fight?
Yeah, so like if we're talking right now, is that something that like, because you'll be on the city council, do you have a relationship with anyone under the Gold Dome that is willing to help us to get this petition started?
Yeah, actually, I've started working on it last year. I started in the state of Missouri with Lincoln University.
Okay.
It's a school that's been done the worst. I've been working with FAMU a lot and their alumni association with getting their funding as well, because they ain't getting no money.
So
Some
that's
years
so
they
you
get
got
zero.
your Alabama A&M, which is
They
an
get all their
agriculture.
money. See, some of these states, man, they get out. Some schools get all their money. So these schools are the land grant school. Land grant money is what it's the reason why education is really here. Money. It's the money to education. It was the Morrill Act is the money to education. The land grant money is under the Morrill Act, right?
Yeah.
It's the first way that they basically gave money to colleges. The premise was to when Senator Morrill from Vermont, when he brought in that law, the Morrill Act of 1862, the premise was to educate poor white farmers. What he said was, we're going to teach you how to farm, teach how to go preachers, teachers, and farmers. They were basically trying to educate them out of slavery, right?
Yeah.
The folks in the North, they were saying like, look, y'all gotta. They was thinking like, hey, we make them a little smarter. They gonna know slavery ain't right, right?
Right.
So in 1890, those schools from 1862. So in 1862, they created like the public schools. Before that, you had to go to like the big public Ivies, right? You had to go to the Ivy Leagues. If you didn't go to an Ivy League school, you ain't going to college. So in 1862, that's when the University of Georgia's, all of them came around. They got their money, and that's how they got funded. But it didn't come with money. It only came with land the first time. So in 1890, they came back for money. When they came back for money, the senators, they basically said, hey, look, you got to let at least one black person come to your school. And those schools in the South in 18 states said, no, I ain't letting no black people come. And so they said, well, you got to develop a sister school. And the sister school they decided in Georgia was Fort Valley State. So they basically said, hey, University of Georgia, I ain't going to give you $1 if you ain't going to let at least one black person come to your school. University of Georgia said, I ain't letting no black person come to my school. But what I will do is help form a sister school. And so they were supposed to help this. And so as long as that sister school exists, University of Georgia can get some money. If a sister school does not exist, University of Georgia can't get no money. So only in 18 states did sister schools come apart. Like you ain't got black land grants in some states because they would let black people come in their schools. But in the 18 states in the South, they had land grant schools. You looking it up? Come on now.
Oh man, I'm just going here, man, talking about vocational guidance. I'm in the miseducation of the Negro. And when we talk about this, I just automatically, you see, I already had this chapter marked right here. And one of the things you talked about earlier, you used the word ideal, and I'm just going here and just blind education right here. It says, this may seem to be a rash statement, but a study of our educational system shows that our schools are daily teaching Negroes what they can never apply in life or what is no longer profitable because of the revolution of industry by the multiplication of mechanical appliances. In your district, I gotta take it here.
Go ahead.
We have the well, I don't know if Hateville, that might be outside of your district, right?
Yeah.
But it's right there adjacent to your district. So kids from South Atlanta, I don't know if they see this, but you got the Porsche plant coming up right around here. You got now all of a sudden Hateville. I don't know what all they're doing over there, but I know it's starting to grow. I'm looking at the extension of in our district. I'm looking at the gentrification that is taking place so rash and so fast. I told my students, I said, hey y'all, I knew your neighborhood was gone when they put the bicycle lines on Cleveland Avenue. I told my students that, I said, when they put the bicycle lane on Cleveland Avenue, that was the first sign that your neighborhood is not your neighborhood.
You know,
so
when it
go ahead.
came, I felt the same way at first.
Yes.
But now I got a new look at it.
Yes.
Because I ride a Segway every day.
Okay.
You know, I'm on I ride a scooter every day, all
And
day.
I saw you riding to the tailgate or something. I saw your on Facebook. I saw your
You'll
Segway.
be amazed how much I ride it when I become a city council person.
Yes.
I got an office on Cleveland Avenue. I got a house on Cleveland Avenue. I'm gonna ride my Segway to the.
So
city
can I ask
council.
you this? That's what I want to ask. Your Segway, we understand because you're going to be the city councilman. What about all of these grandparents? Like one of my grandparents in particular, she lives right over there. I don't know if this District 12, I might be going across the interstate over there in Mechanicville. I know on Malin, right?
Okay.
And these people came in, got her house literally for about $50,000. Might have been $40-something thousand
Man,
dollars.
cost 400.
Oh, we while we're in class, we were doing the study of the fall of the Roman Empire. And I said, it's going to be the same as the fall of Black Atlanta. And they said, what Rome got to do with Atlanta? I said, see, when you
They
get
don't even
educated.
get it. They don't
Yeah,
even
they don't
know
get
it.
it. I said, we got too arrogant. We got too
I don't even know
comfortable.
it's too arrogant.
I think, no, I'm not saying all of us. Some of us got too arrogant. That's the word I'm going to use right here. And the reason I'm saying that because I want to throw this back to you. Now you get it. You're on your Segway, but by the time they develop this thing all the way out,
What if people inherited something they didn't deserve?
hey, that's where I'm getting ready to go. So as gentrification is taking place, though, a lot of these kids who don't even know what they got underneath their feet, who grandparents living in these $50,000 homes or whatnot, that only needs $20,000 or $30,000 to get them renovated, will you be able to bring programs in
Yes.
to the
We're
district?
going to the barbershop.
Oh, that's what I said. Let's talk.
Listen, this is part of my plan is always I'm in the barbershop.
Yes.
Because you gotta go to the barbershop and beauty salon because the man is still and we still live in the South.
Yeah.
And the man lead a lot of households in the South. And in the barbershop, a lot of conversations are had and not had. We having a coronavirus conversation there daily. That's why what's his name? President Joe Biden did shots at shops. Have y'all heard of that before? I know, because they ain't pointed they have not pointed at our district yet. There's something called shots at shops where they're giving barbershop owners money to do coronavirus conversations
Really?
in the barbershop. You don't think our barbershop owners, our black barbershop owners in our community want that money and the aim is at black people.
Yes.
But the city council person wasn't going to direct those resources. Y'all know that though, right? Because y'all ain't even know about it, right?
Didn't know about it.
But when we talk about, man, you almost got me going right there. You were saying, I was saying, I believe you take it to the people by taking it to the people. You gotta go to the barbershops. And sometimes PTA meetings, but the PTA meetings ain't got enough people there, right?
That's right.
You gotta go to the clubs.
That's right.
We literally gotta try it in a different way. My campaign looks different too, right?
Yes.
Which lets you know this is everything's grassroots.
So help our listeners, help our audience understand what your campaign looks like.
We are we're taking it right to people. So President Biden's campaign tried to take on some of President Obama's campaign. President Obama's campaign was all about neighborhood teams, right? It was a volunteer based. And I saw the next two candidates, Secretary of State Clinton. She tried to build in a volunteer base, but it was more paid based. President Biden tried to do the same thing, but it was more paid based at the end. I'm doing more volunteer based. What I mean by that is you can, it's like called a snowflake method. It's where you basically go into different communities, you find a community leader, you talk to that community leader, you relate to that community leader, you have a one-on-one, you share stories with that community leader, and then they help you build a team based off their friends in that community. And so that's how my campaign works, and word of mouth. And it's legit the best route to do when we get things that we need to get out to the community because they trust certain people, right?
So what would you say to us inviting like candidates such as yourself out to the school? Because if those people, going back to what you said about, we got to take a different route. If the parents who are of age to vote don't even know who the city councilman is in their district, they're voting for signs. And one of my kids said this the other day, they said, well, I won't call the candidate's name. They said he know he's gonna win in this particular district because he got more signs in the yard. Now think about that. Some people are still using that same old strategy, and I talked with your wife. We were talking about people who are pulling up signs. That's a real strategy that a lot of people don't know about. This is something you and your wife, while you were having a conversation over here, we were talking about that. Do you know that's a real strategy?
Yeah.
People actually have people going around pulling signs up. So I want to ask you, in your district, I recall, because I worked the campaign in your district. I knocked on doors in his district when I was running with Councilman Bozeman or whatnot. I know. And at the end, you know what's so disheartening to me? It's not about the win or the loss. The small amount of people who actually get out and vote, you can darn near win that district with 2,000 votes.
3,090 votes gets you the election.
That's exactly right.
2,000 gets you in the runoff.
Yeah, 2,000 gets you in the runoff, right?
I'm
And
telling you
3,000 takes you over the top. So look at this. If South Atlanta got, let's say just hypothetically speaking, if we're at capacity and we got between 800 and 1,000 students, I think that's the perfect platform if somebody say they're serious about our district. And when I say perfect platform, let's say we got 200 seniors. And those 200 seniors using your volunteer strategy that you're talking about, Antonio, and I want you to just piggyback off this right here. How would it look if we come and ask 200 seniors, we make that class instead of a 10th grade class, we make that a 12th grade class. Now when we start talking about your 75 volunteer hours you must have in order to graduate, how do you feel about us saying, hey, we want kids to really give back to their community? Those seniors in your district, wouldn't that be great? And all I want is your opinion, for them to go out and give back to the seniors in the community with those 75 volunteer hours. Tell me what you think about that.
I like that idea, and I think that the schools try to stay nonpartisan as possible,
Yes.
right? But you can allow the students to be able to choose a campaign if they want to choose a campaign, or you can allow the students to choose whatever kind of method they want to choose to give hours out into the community.
Yes.
But I definitely believe that if they would want to choose or select my campaign, which is totally different, because we are knocking doors.
Yes,
Ain't no candidate never knocked on my door.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody never knocked on my door.
You might get the letters and the flyers, but you're not getting the candidate in person.
Or you ain't even getting people knocking on your door having real conversations. They get something called Canvas Lit Drops. A lit drop is basically what President Biden did, which is what we did during the campaign. We did
Paid all the people that just go around the
just
different
go and put
neighborhoods.
our doors.
Yeah.
Now I want the people who we paying. We do look out for our students. We do make sure they can eat. You get what I'm saying? Ain't no kid came around me and said they can't eat.
So can our kids get volunteer hours for like
Yes.
what they have to have at the school?
Yeah, of course, of course.
So
yeah.
I think right now, if you're watching this show right now, we need you to call in. I'm especially speaking to people in District 12. You are sitting here with potentially your next city council member, someone who cares about the community, someone who's in the schools. And I want to say this after I get a phone number. DJ271, can you run the number across the screen real quick? I need you guys, if you are interested in what's going on in District 12, shame on you if we only can win this district with 3,090 votes. We should, if we really are concerned about this district right now, we should have that number from 3,000 up to 5,000 votes in this election. And another thing I want to say is this right here. This man didn't even ask me to say this right here. I'm at the school every day, y'all. When you work in the hood like I do and you're on the grassroots, that's how he and I even get to know each other.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me just today, they said, hey, check this out. Are you talking about Antonio Lewis going to be on your show with you and Miss Born Thick? The same one who paid for our kids to get physicals the other day?
Oh, wow.
See, this is what you do. You go to school, I start asking questions before I bring him to the couch. I want to know what else is Antonio doing in the community.
Yeah.
I know he's
What
at the
are you
barbershop.
already doing?
Yeah, I want to know before we start talking about what the other person is not doing. I don't care about that. I'm a political science major. I've already done my research on her. When she gets ready to come to this college right here, I'm going to ask her the same thing. Our school floods. It's been doing it for 10 years. Do you even know what I'm talking about? See, this is what I want to know. If you in the
can't
district
identify-
right now.
Actively working on it. I just said I'm working with some students right now on,
Yes.
on that
But
flood.
the
in
fact that
particular.
Yes,
you know
then
what it is.
And he said a student in particular. Anthony is one of my students.
Right.
His twin sister did one of the dopest presentations ever in my class, y'all. I mean, this boy right here, I just saw Anthony, he's coming off of a bad knee injury. He's back playing at South Atlanta, but he knows this. So right now, everybody else would just know Anthony as a football player. He knows Anthony as the inventor. He knows Anthony as a community activist.
Next level.
This next level
The way
stuff.
you lit up talking about the kid, he has to be.
Yes.
I'm not. And I have yet to meet the kid. The kid sends
Really?
me emails. We do phone calls. He's very, very much into the school. We talk a lot.
He's not just a typical athlete. He's a true student.
And his
athlete.
emails are so like professional, by the way. His emails are
That's
so professional.
awesome.
I'm inspired about the work that y'all are sowing. Y'all sowing into our kids,
Yes.
man. Because I don't know if y'all know Allison. Allison next level too.
Allison just came to me today and asked me to work with her on her college admissions letter. She said, Ms. Walker, I said, no. I said, that's an English teacher right there. She said, no, I want you to work with me.
Asking 10 people.
Yes.
You know why?
Yes.
I tell them you need 10 mentors.
Yes.
You don't have one mentor. You learn
Yes.
something from everybody. Because what we trying to give them is to be so much greater than what we are.
Yes.
So much greater. And we see they can because they know how to read a little bit better than we ever even dreamed of.
Can I give you a
Read.
question that somebody sent me right here? Oh, this is a good one right here, y'all. Antonio, get ready now. Put your seatbelt on. Hey, y'all, for the people who have not called in, I got people sending these questions right
Yeah.
to my line right now. This question right here says, in a scenario where you cannot have both, and I'll reread it, do you believe the focus of police efforts, especially within minority communities, should be law and order or to protect and serve and justify your position? You need me to repeat that?
Man. So law and order means like,
Donald Trump, law and order, we
I know,
just, yeah,
and protect and serve means they're supposed to, protect and then serve.
yeah. And then
But
give,
also means protect businesses
yes,
and serve like rich people.
yes.
So it can mean a whole lot of different things.
So I think we're going to make this one more specific, especially within minority communities. I think they're going right to something that you know because you had the Rashad Brooks incident happen. That's right in District 12,
district.
right? So right there, I think what they want to get to, and they're trying to, be politically correct right here, but I'll just go ahead and make it clear.
About police.
Yeah, so that's what they're trying to get to. Like, are your police under your district going to be law and order police, or are they
protect
going
and
to be
serve?
protect and serve police in your district?
I can answer the question a little bit different than how
Yes.
they probably answer.
Yes.
They probably answer, but I promise to give a full answer, and you
Okay.
can let me know if I didn't. Right?
Okay.
So I believe that in my district, I believe that the gas stations need to be safe. Right.
Yes.
I believe that the gas station. I believe that we need McDonald's back.
The one that they closed down right at the red light.
And we all know why they closed it down, right?
Yeah.
We believe that corner got a little bit darker when McDonald's
it
went away.
did.
Yes.
And that gas station got a little bit unsafer, got a little bit less safe.
Yeah, it
when
did.
when
It did.
McDonald's went there, right?
Yes.
I do want my wife to be able to get gas without getting her purse snatched.
Yes.
I got a friend who had her purse, had a young man actually wrestle her for her purse through the door. And when I was growing up, when girls came to the gas station, we walked into the thing, opened up the door, we tried to pump their gas, we tried to
Yes.
get their phone on, man. My tripping me born thick.
No, you're
Right.
not.
And that's what I grew up in the gas station where we tried to talk to her. We probably
Not
pay for
take
stuff
from
at the
Counter.
counter.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up. So we got a whole generation of folks who ain't grow up like that, but I think they need resources. I think that the
You
job,
mean when you say the police need resources?
young
okay.
folk, I think
Young folks need
I think
resources.
the
Okay.
resources that we used to have that were around when I was growing up are no longer here.
Like the CETA program when we had the
Atlanta
summer
pit
jobs.
The pit
and,
job.
Yes.
Atlanta pit job. It was like the summer pit job. It was basically just for being a student in the city of Atlanta, you got a guaranteed job in the summer.
Wow.
It was guaranteed. That's why when people say Atlanta got this right long time ago.
Yes.
I'm gonna go back to police. I'm telling you, I ain't gonna dodge the question. My police is always included with jobs, right?
Yes.
Because the young kids used to have jobs. All you had to do was be 12 or 13 years old, go to school a certain amount of days.
Yes.
Because you had to have your attendance slip when you went down to the
Is that the same as
building.
workforce development?
You went to the
Workforce
they
development.
changed it. It's the same job. Just imagine. I'm explaining to you how it used to be.
Yeah,
it still exists.
Yes.
Just now they work at the Center of Hope. They call our recreation center Centers of Hope now, right? So you typically go to Crawford Lawn. I'm gonna give my life. Go to Crawford Lawn. Go to school 80% of the days. Pass your classes. They say you're going to the 8th grade from the 7th grade. You can get a job with the City of Atlanta working at Roselle Fan.
Yes.
So now I can walk to work and I make minimum wage, right? That was the first job I used to have. The second job we had was the Mayor's Next Step program. 2005, I made $14 an hour. Me and every single student in the city of Atlanta did, right? All you had to do was just graduate from a City of Atlanta public high school. You graduate, you gotta help with your next step. That means a summer internship in the summer of your graduation year, and help with paying for college, paying for technical school, or with help with getting a job somewhere.
So what was the prerequisites to be in that program?
Graduate from a City of Atlanta high school. That's all.
That's it.
I just told you 2 programs in the City of Atlanta that was guaranteed job program. All of us. If you graduate between 05, because I was the president of the program, that's why I know South Atlanta got so much talent, and I was president of that citywide program in 2005. So if you graduated from 05 to 09, you felt this program. It disappeared, just like that summer pit drill program did.
And I want you to see right here, you notice I just started looking at the screen. There's a question. Belinda says people got to know who and what they're voting for. Candidates should introduce themselves to more people instead of the areas that they know they're going to get the vote from.
Yeah.
So Antonio, since we got that, hey, thank you, Belinda. That's
Right.
one of our most loyal followers right there. Are you going to areas like, I know, and once again, I got to say this only because Antonio can tell, you're a normal student of this right here.
Right.
We know we have something they call super voters. A lot of people, they're going to make sure they target their super voters. I'm a super voter. I vote in everything, right? I'm voting for the damn dog catcher. I'm voting for watershed management. I'm voting for anything. Well, other people might say, bro, no, I'm just going to vote for the president. That's the least important one for me. The presidential election. I want to know about this brother right here and the other brothers and sisters who are running local politics, because you remember I started out talking about that flood.
Yeah.
It floods outside of school. See, when the president rides down 75, 85, the only thing he knows about Cleveland Avenue is that it's one of the exits before he gets to the airport. But when Antonio Lewis in District 12 rides down Cleveland Avenue, somebody knows him. They're going to see him on whatever you call that little thing, the Segway or whatnot. See, you said this during the election. This is what Belinda said. Now there are people who might not have known you at first, but now you've gone out there, I hope. And that's why I just turned the question back.
Belinda telling me come over to her community.
So that's what we
Maybe
have
that's what
tonight.
she's telling you.
So
Can
right
I
there.
say something, Ms. Belinda? These resources. So I just said I got a volunteer campaign base, right?
Yes.
So that means my resources are kind of limited.
Limited. That's right. So what do
Right.
you need from people in the community?
You just said we need door knockers.
Yes.
This is grassroots to death. This is grassroots to death. We hit as many doors as we can. Every Tuesday and Monday and Wednesday I'm hitting doors. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday I'm knocking doors personally.
What hours to what? From what time to what time?
All day.
All
I'm telling
day.
you, we always we knocking.
Leave no
But
stone
here's the thing.
unturned.
It's 13,000 people we got to talk to. We got 10 volunteers. So that means all of us.
Wow.
We got 33 volunteers now in a volunteer.
How
group.
far can you help the people who are watching right now kind of know geographically where does your area begin on, like, let's say the south?
We got the richest. We got the richest district in the city. They keep saying Buckhead is, but we
Yes.
got the airport and Tyler Perry Studios. So both of those belong to our district and Porsche. Porsche is a little bit in Hateville.
Yeah.
It's
But I
literally
want
an
to
exit
talk.
away.
So what's richer than that?
You can't get in the
So
Richard.
tell them stop playing with us.
So with that,
That's I haven't hit your door yet, but if your city council person ain't talking about we in the richest district in the city, and we getting left behind still, intentionally.
Yes.
Man, when I sat down, you talked about the belt line, you talked about bike lanes on Cleveland Avenue.
Yes.
You know how you fix our community and slow down what's going on.
yes.
Change how they're doing the plans. So the ball's already going down the pin. Already
Yeah.
Going down the lane.
This stuff happening. We know it's happening. Why we got to be at the end of it?
Yeah.
Why we got to be last?
Why we can't be proactive? We always reactionary
No,
instead
what
of being
I mean
proactive.
is this right here. They already got a plan for our neighborhood.
I know.
There's about to be a MARTA rail station on Cleveland Avenue. Y'all know that?
Where about?
Oh.
I don't even know. I found out yesterday. They just got $12 million. Only thing I know is they send money back every year. You get what I'm saying?
So here we
you got a
are.
MARTA
Here we
rail.
are with Grandma. That goes back to what I was asking you earlier. Belinda talking about. So if you're out here, I want everybody to know. I need you to hold Antonio Lewis accountable, because this brother right here, I hear you got a plan. I want to know the water boys. This is personal to me right here.
Gave you 2 jobs.
No, that's what I'm talking about. But right now, what I'm
Right,
talking
I
about
just gave you
is
jobs.
you just gave us 2 jobs. I got water boys. I'm an entrepreneur. I want my water boys to get out there, and I want somebody to put together a program that says to them, you don't have to go and get the job for the $10 an hour or whatnot. You're making $300 a day, $200 a day out here. How can we get these young men in a situation in your district right here where now all of a sudden we have them coming to a program where, because I got a plan myself. And my plan is the Awaken the Genius Entrepreneurship Institute, where we work with the city or whatnot, and we bring in entrepreneurs. Let them see this right here and let them know that, hey, what you're doing You guys are on it. They got a system that they've already created. So, Mr. Lewis, I saw it. I don't know if you've seen this. It's like the water boys in the hood.
Yep, T-shirts.
Yes, sir. I
got
seen
one.
the water boys in the hood T-shirts and whatnot. Hey, I'm letting y'all know I got one of the water boys. I literally just helped him to get, found housing the other night. This is the real, like what happens in our district right here. Brother was going through some things and whatnot. We had to get him housing. 271, you were with me, right? We literally had to go to the hood, man. For all y'all people who are playing around with this thing right here, I'm asking you a real question. How do I convince a water boy, right, Ms. Bowen Thick, who's making $200 or $300 a day, to go and make $10 an hour?
It's impossible.
It's not impossible. So I'm asking you,
It
what
ain't
is your
impossible.
position on
They
that?
want things, right? They want, so like how do you convince Tyrese to come follow you too? He got
Yes.
everything. He already got everything.
Yes.
He
You know
does.
what I'm saying? He got everything. How you convince that, right?
Yes.
You got it. They want things. And they also look up to people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's just part of it. So they see certain things too. So some of the things these water boys want, you got to ask what do they want. And I don't like calling water boys, man. Like, I don't like using the term.
Yeah.
Only because, you know what I'm saying? That means like you basically
You're limited to just water or whatnot. I think they
We've
are
been selling
serial
co-
entrepreneurs.
I used to sell M&Ms.
That's
I used
right.
to sell peanut butter. I used to sell cashews. So I
Yes.
guess I was a cashew boy. Then I used to do the paper, so I know I was a paper
So
boy.
do you have a plan
You know the
for?
paper boys,
Yeah, I
right?
remember
So do you
Paperboy.
have
I
a
was a paper
plan
boy, too.
for
I
the
do.
water boys? And whether we like the name or not, but do you have a plan for those young entrepreneurs who are out on the block? Hey man, they could be out there. We know they could be doing some other things on the block,
Yeah.
but they are out there. Some of them make mistakes. That's not all
aggressive.
of them. Yeah,
It's-
some of them
it's
are
kinda
aggressive,
aggressive.
but
It's
that's the
kinda aggressive.
minority
Yeah,
in the group though.
Yeah.
Because I got students who are out there and they said there's only a handful of them. So what plans do you have for the water boys in your district?
Yep. So in my area,
Mm-hmm.
and I know people say, man, you keep talking about just where you're from, but I'm not an elected official. Who donates the rest of his time to running for office or trying to clean up his community. So in my area, we started a program called Organized to Mobilize.
Yes, that's right.
That program actually has Jamarcus. He actually did 60. We bought him a heating press. That's all he needed was a heating press.
Is that Jamarcus who we saw at the game the other night?
Jamarcus Stevens?
Yes, at
All
Fort
he needed
Valley.
was
Hey,
a
Fort
heating
Valley,
press,
y'all.
right?
All y'all down at Fort Valley. He's down at Fort Valley. You guys got a Jewel and Jamarcus who he's talking about
You know
now.
what he did? I got the heating press. He did like 60 jobs this year.
Come on now.
Wow.
Making clothes. We got Gerald. You know what Gerald needed? A
Gerald
camera.
been here taking pictures.
Yeah.
He needed a camera. We bought him a camera. We bought a camera.
The
I
camera,
didn't
he
buy him
always seemed to mysteriously leave when he came here.
But
15
check
talk.
this out though. I think Gerald got robbed or something.
guess what
didn't
we
he?
did?
No.
Yeah,
He did.
Gerald got
He got
robbed.
robbed for a camera. So I bought him a camera. He saved up some money and bought another camera on his own.
I
He
remember
he
that. They
still
had that
the camera I
conversation
had.
here.
Yeah.
He got robbed in his own yard for his own camera, right? He then came back to the barbershop that day, and guess what happened?
They raised money for
We
him.
raised enough money for him to buy another camera, and I made sure he still had that camera. So but that's what we did. We got him a camera.
So
Gerald
you're
got
not just talking the talk, you walking the walk.
walking it.
Gerald got the camera, and he been doing business the whole time.
So
How you
Gerald,
convince
can I ask you
Tyrese?
this? I want to ask you this because you were at the same game with me.
Yeah.
Was Gerald doing was he doing business with the school when he was
Yes.
down on the sideline
Yes.
taking? So Gerald's at Georgia State right now, but he was at the game.
He doing business with Crawford Long too. That's
Come
what
on
I'm trying to
now.
tell you.
So he's
We ain't
filming their
playing.
games.
He did business with me. I pay him. Yeah,
Come
he
on, Gerald.
he filmed a HBCU tour with a movie that's gonna be on Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
So I follow him, and I've been seeing a lot of his posts about some of the stuff. He's like been posting little snippets, and he's been doing a lot of
Getting
photography
money.
work for a lot of kids and
He's
for a lot
getting
of
money.
people too.
So with that, we can tie that back in. Going back
getting
to the
money.
water boys, like we said, because we don't want to pigeonhole
You gotta-
them.
well, I say, you
Right.
gotta
Yeah, we don't
give
want to
them something.
pigeonhole
You gotta
them.
give
Find
them-
out.
But
what
we
they
need to
want
do surveys
and
and
get-
find out what
But-
do they want and how do we help
and
them
guess
to
what?
get there.
And I got a space. I
Yes.
got my own community center. You hear people talk about the office. That ain't my office. That they office.
The one behind the barbershop.
Is that the one
Behind the bar.
Tyrese
They
always
always,
talks about?
yeah, always.
It's their
talking
office,
about
not mine.
That's what
But-
he says,
And
my
they spend more
office.
time there than I do. And the things we put in there, put those two things in there, put a TV in there with cable. We ain't put no game in there. Ain't no game in there. Put laptops in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We got a couple of books. You make them look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You make them look at CNN from time to time. We have real different debates, different conversations in there. We raise money. I taught them how to raise money. One of the students just called me today, Kia Moore. She go to FAMU. She's trying to raise $300 for a program she called Hands-On Empowerment at FAMU. She's a freshman. She's already down there. She's like, hey, how do I have a phone-a-thon to raise $300? And we identify enough people that's gonna give her the money to help her raise the $300.
Is she wanted to organize and mobilize young
Yes,
people?
and now she's at. So these are the things that we put on him. Tyrese, you know what he want? You say what he want an office. He want to learn how to do it.
Yeah, he does.
He wants to learn how to do it. He ain't on Allison. Allison want an office. She want to learn how to do it.
And she's a 12th grader this year at our school, right?
Man, if I can, Allison lets me share a story sometimes, so I can share a story. Allison next level. I don't think we're gonna. You know you always meet the black woman as you age, right? You meet women like my wife, women like Miss Born Thief, like strong black woman. I wonder what she like when she was 17.
Yes.
Allison. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like she make. I heard she did a debate, a law debate, and she made the other team cry. That's how prepared she is. She got 3.9 GPA. Ask me, does she have a laptop?
No.
And we at home in the pandemic.
Yeah.
How does she have 3.9 GPA with no laptop? And her mom just graduated with her associate, so they sharing the laptop. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the pressure. These are the things that we're going through in our community. But what she want to do is learn how to do this. That's why she sit down with you. We teaching them, man, you better talk. I'm telling you, you better be strong. You better not worry about
She
speak
did.
your mind.
So one of the things I think
And you
was-
smarter than all us. I ain't had no 3.9. That's what I
Yes.
tell you, I ain't had that. So you
Right.
smarter than I was.
So I want to ask another question. Miss Born Thick, jump in here. You know
I'm
this
trying.
is near and dear.
I'm enjoying the conversation.
This is near and dear. 271. You know this.
Yeah.
Like 271. I don't know if you know this. The brother who's sitting back here.
And I'm-
He was my student also when I was at Thayer. This is DJ 271. He was my student. He's in my organization, Brothers Building Up Brothers. 271. This is gonna get you a little teary out right here. This is our student right here, Ken Derrick, man. He graduated from South Atlanta. 3 years ago? I think it's like 3 years ago. He was brutally shot, man. This is the nicest kid I've ever seen in my life. In 25 years in education, he was shot on Northside Drive and McDaniel Street. And I know in Atlanta, man, it's getting dangerous out here, Antonio. What are we gonna do, man, to combat this community violence? Because people like to downplay it and say, man, they just wannabes or whatnot. No, bro, these are real gang members. I'm
And it's
working
been
with
going on forever.
forever.
It
That's what I'm
has.
saying. So
I can speak to it better than most people, right?
Yes, yes.
My mom was murdered when I was 3 years old. My mom was murdered simply, if you from Atlanta, you know anything about the Atlanta-Miami drug war?
yes, yes.
So my mama was murdered, victim of the Atlanta-Miami drug war. So when people say crime is worse now than it was, I say, man, I know what they did to my mom. I know what they did to women back then.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
That's when they just had the Miami boys and all them folks
the
right there,
Miami
man.
boys ain't do that to my mama.
The
The Atlanta boys did.
The Atlanta boys
Oh,
did.
wow.
She know the Atlanta boys killed. Can I tell you what the
They
Atlanta
put
boys
a lot
did?
of that on the
They
Miami
killed
boys.
They killed the women for housing Miami boys. My mama had a boyfriend from Miami. My sister daddy from Miami. She was with him. And
That I
Atlanta
did
boy
know.
killed my mama, went to prison for 30 years and got out last year. Got out. My grandma, I'm blessed that my grandma saw justice because my grandmother lived the entire time he was in jail. She died 2 months after he got out of jail, but I was still blessed because I know she was the one who that probably had to see justice, right? So she saw justice, and if justice was served, if the way I believe in God, right?
Yes.
If I can forgive him for that, God got to forgive me for anything. And that's the way I look at that portion, right?
I need you all to catch everything he just said.
How can people, like, we're not gone
And he
yet.
got to ask me for forgiveness. That was my whole part.
I want to make sure people can stay in
got to
touch
have me.
with you, Antonio. That was
Oh,
so
yeah.
strong right there. Miss Bonte, do what you always do. Like, if they want to follow Antonio, do what you do. Get this information out there before we get to our
So this is definitely what we want to do. 271, if you can, put this across the bottom of the screen for us. Please let us know on all social media platforms, how do we keep up with your movement? I know that you have the website. I checked your website out
Antonio
early.
Lewis, ATL, easy.
That's it.
Easy. And we going the whole way. We ain't never got to change it. Like they said, why you ain't
Antonio
committee
Lewis,
to
ATL.
elect? No, man, we going Antonio Lewis, ATL. We ain't never changing. Listen, this is Atlanta. The politics here is small. This is small. They don't even know. This is a big city. This is a big city. They moving us like we're a small city. That's why we moving the way we moving, and we getting left out.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need a seat at the table. I can't wait to get us a seat at the table because Joyce Shepard's supposed to be our seat at the table.
Yes.
She's even over the police. Why wouldn't you want the person who's old? Why wouldn't you want the representative who's old? The representative of the community that has the most black people murdered by police to be over the police. That's genius.
Yes. So if she's over the police without us going into all the
Okay.
gloomy details, What is going on with the Rashard Brooks case? Are those
She been
police
there
officers?
17 years. Ain't none of us think it's right. They did a poll yesterday. They said whether you make $130,000 in Atlanta or under $22,000 in Atlanta, none of us think crime is going right in Atlanta.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
not.
Like, what happened to the police with the Rashard Brooks case, though? Because we know that didn't go right. I mean, I don't care if you were.
A lot of those
It's a
cases
travesty.
ain't going
It's
right.
a travesty,
It
exactly
was
right. So
worse.
what is
Worse.
going on with those
Police,
guys?
they showed their face. A lot of people showed their face during that. What I mean, Atlanta, we talk about a lot about us having 60% of our police are black, right?
Yes.
Guess who killed Rashard Brooks?
Two white
It
officers.
wasn't APD. It wasn't our
So
police
those officers I heard were actually like that wasn't even their zone. That
I
wasn't
know.
even,
That's the thing. What's
Really?
going? And why are they working in our zone? Why are they in our district at nighttime?
Yes.
I believe you. My whole thing is like, just like the flag, we embrace that. You put my city council person over police, we embrace that. We switch it up. She's supposed to check the police. Why is it that the police officers that keep killing our black
coming
brothers
from
and sisters,
outside of the district.
why is that?
So why
That's the
are
conversation we
they
need to
why
start
are they
having.
allowed to come from outside the district? Because now when you start talking, it's almost like
The same
gerrymandering.
reason that we got a no chase law in Atlanta.
Yes.
But let Georgia State get behind you.
Oh yeah.
Let Georgia State see. Man, they made the law. We're trying to protect our folks, man. Why the governor letting his police officers run like that in our city? I mean, I seen one of the police officers, he almost killed all this.
So if it happens in your district, you elected District 12, what do you do about rogue police? And we're not talking about the good police. For anybody out there, we're not talking about those
I ain't
police.
say nothing
Ms.
bad about
Barnaby.
police, I hope.
No, you
No,
haven't, because
but
you
we
talk
gonna
about
talk about
resources.
the
But
ones
we
that
got to
hide
talk
behind
about
their
this.
badges.
Yes, we got to talk about this for the people in your district, because if you elected, these people want to know what
you gonna
makes
do?
the district
Can I
any
tell you?
different under Antonio Lewis when you got rogue cops who are killing our people. And we'll deal with the black on black crime
Just
at
because
another
they
time.
think they can.
Yes, we're saying whatever color the cop is, if they're using that badge as a justification to do this, what is the council going to do? Because what happened was the mayor made a move that, as a political scientist, I'm sitting there saying, oh, man.
Which move?
The move, like, to go ahead and swiftly punish those police officers without the consent of.
I'm a union man, so I
yes.
never would have done that.
Yes, and so
I knew she made a mistake. the
yes,
moment it
as soon as
happened.
I saw it, I'm
I'm a
sitting
union
there.
man, though. I know process. I understand
Process, that's the word. So with that though, because you are a union man, you got these police officers who are union men. Now you got a union man
Well,
up against
do
a
you-
union.
Do you know what I didn't respect about the Rashard Brooks case?
Yes,
The very next day, that police officer kicked Rashard Brooks in the face, right?
yes,
And we all saw it. Kicked him while he was
Yeah.
down.
yes.
The very next day, when Mayor Bottoms did release this officer from his duties, all police officers, they called it the blue flu.
The walkout
Yeah,
or something,
they
right?
walked out on us.
Yes,
They walked out on us. I don't respect that.
I
At
don't
all.
It's
either.
hard for me to respect that. They
Yes.
walked out on us, right? Then, you know how we got them to come back?
Right.
Y'all want to know how we got them to come back? We gave all of them $500. They came back the next day. And it wasn't all the police officers. It wasn't the black ones. How about that? I got to sit back on that one. Wow. I asked
we have to
asked
pay you
city
to come back
council
on your
person
job.
Michael Julian Buns for a discovery of which police officers walked off work that day.
Can
Police
we
officers.
get that? Is that
I
public?
never got
now?
it. It's supposed to be.
That's open record. Shouldn't that be
I
open
asked for
record?
open record, but I just wanted to just show people like, nah, because I talked to black police officers. I don't have no problem. You can look at pictures of me, Watson, Officer Watson from our community. He'll tell you he got pictures doing this right here with me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like not nothing
Yeah.
crazy. We have a rapport. As a matter of fact, the guys at the gas station love Watson. They don't love him, but they respect him
They respect
in a
him.
different way because they say he's doing his job. They doing theirs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was the only officer actually who would actually go after criminals in our community. Because one of our problems in our community is we don't report no crime, right? We got gas stations. You want me to tell you what another way? We ain't never trying to slow down gentrification. I want me to tell you another reason why gentrification happens so fast in our community is because gas stations get shot up, houses get shot up, and we don't call the police. So that means that the crime rate ain't as high. As a matter of fact,
'Cause it's not
as
reported.
a matter of fact, one of my friends moved from Buckhead to Cleveland Avenue, and their car insurance went down by $5. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Hey,
That's
but
crazy.
when we talk about crime, because I ain't finished, I believe that women should be able to go and get gas free. I believe in responsible policing, not aggressive policing. I do believe we talked about my mom did get murdered in the city of Atlanta, because the city of Atlanta has been running rampant with police, with just killing,
Yes.
murder since the 80s, right?
Yes.
This is the portion we got to start talking about, the mental aspect of it, and why we ain't dealt with this issue yet.
Mental
we
health.
never dealt with this issue. Atlanta has to lead the way. There's a reason we got chosen to host the Olympics in 1996. We were the city that they saw that was too busy to hate.
Yeah.
They said, look, y'all past racism. You know what they said? Dr. King had his dream in Atlanta. You know why? He was literally living a different life. Kids from Atlanta live a different life than kids from any other place in the world. Black kids do. I've been everywhere, right? I don't live as a union man. I've lived in every state. My first job out of college, I worked in D.C. for Congressman Lacy Clay Jr. In Congressman Lacy Clay Jr.'s office, we were working on declaring a state of emergency in Ferguson, Missouri, before Mike Brown got killed. We knew what would happen if anything else happened there. Y'all saw what happened after what happened with Mike
Yes.
Brown. I was working with Congressman John Lewis for that. I left from working on D.C. to go and work for President Barack Obama in Denver, Colorado. I lived in Missouri for college. I lived in Iowa, ran the Iowa caucus for Hillary Clinton. I ran the entire state of Florida data program for Hillary Clinton for labor unions. So I've lived in, I lived in Chicago. I lived in Baltimore. I lived in Philadelphia for work. So I've lived in pretty much every state if black men live in Iowa. So imagine being from Atlanta and going to Iowa.
Yes.
And what I noticed is what I just told y'all about 2 guaranteed jobs. I'm seeing people around in Maybachs my entire life. I've always known I can have it. So I'm going to states and I'm seeing black kids that don't know what they can have because they ain't never seen it. I ain't just see black men with suits who, I was seeing black men with suits all the time growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids in Atlanta have seen, they know they can have everything, right? So our kids, they feel different, they attack things different, right? Dr. King had his dream in Atlanta.
So as a union man, I want to concur. I know we're up on
I
time
got
right
you.
here. I want to ask though, as a union man, we were having a conversation recently, and I made this post on my social media, and I think you might have seen the post. It's been getting so much attention. In the post, I was actually talking about like if teachers are meeting kids where they are and they're able to relate to the kids. Why do we put so much emphasis on the way that they dress? So it's kind of like when he said he's a union man, right? And I know some people thought I was talking about students, some people thought I was talking about teachers. I was really addressing like, why do we look at the way educators dress? But I like the answer that I was getting from both sides because everybody was respectable to each other.
Right.
Everybody had very thought-provoking responses on there. But here's the thing, if I came to school dressed like this, let's say with this right here, and I take this jacket off, I just want to think about this, and I have on a baseball cap. I'm the dude who's down there in his office or whatnot, working with the young people. I'm helping kids to do their college essays. Why is it that people think, well, he need to have a suit on because kids need to see somebody with a suit? As a union man, this is what Baba Tunja Ifari New said. We started working at North Clayton together. Shouts out to Baba Tunja Ifari New. As a union man, one of the things that he mentioned was when a plumber comes to your house, that plumber doesn't have on a suit.
No, he's in his uniform.
Yeah, so like he said, we've seen different types of hustle or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Entire
Kids in
life.
Atlanta get a chance to see that guy who gets on MARTA starting out. He's just working at the school. But later on, that dude right there got his own van. He's doing his
Yep.
own little
He a
hustle and
boss.
whatnot. Yeah, he a boss
He's a
now.
boss in his
so
own
now,
world.
imagine.
Everybody's famous in Atlanta. What they
Yes.
say, we ain't tripping by celebrities because all the celebrities.
Everybody's
Yeah,
celebrity.
that's right.
We know we can have
Everybody
it.
We
is
can
a
get it.
celebrity.
That's exactly right.
We influence.
So
I'm
why
telling
then
you.
is there so much emphasis on dressing like this and wearing the suit and so little emphasis on teaching our kids in a city like Atlanta, man, where brothers are go-getters, that, hey, man, you can be a plumber. You can go over to Atlanta Tech, and in less than a year, bro, you got your own business. You got a skill set. You can do
We need more dynamic leadership.
Yes.
So the leadership in Atlanta used to be dynamic and brave.
Yes.
That's how we got the Olympics.
Yes.
We got the NPU system in Atlanta, which is world renowned.
Yes.
All of us know you work in education, you ain't gonna say it, I can see it. We know we need to revamp the NPU system.
Yeah, I was talking about that in my government class the other day.
What if I tell you, even on the calls we have, we say we need, every debate I've been in, we say we need to revamp the NPU system. You know who typically says it?
Can you say that to the people so they know what NPU stands
The
for?
NPU is Neighborhood Planning Unit. It's the best system in the world. No one has anything like it.
In our district is Roselle Fan, right?
Now we got District X and Z. So
Okay.
they meet at Roselle Fan.
Okay.
So imagine.
No, that's what I mean. We meet at Roselle Fan.
Yep, they meet at Roselle Fan, but there are a lot of different MPUs. Like there's one that had Polar Rock has its own. For
Okay.
example, Polar Rock has one. South River Garden, one's over there by South Atlanta. Pittsburgh community has its own.
Yes.
Westview community has its own. But then they all go into an MPU Z or X or Y.
I saw that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're affiliated. They are basically affiliated with the city. Nowhere else in no other country, no other state. I'm traveling.
Yes.
I'm moving around. Like,
Are we
y'all
taking
got this?
advantage of that? Because I went to an MPU
We're
meeting.
using it to the best of its, we're maximizing it to the best of its capacities.
Yes.
It's time for it to be revamped.
Are we using Zoom? Or
We're
they still
using
going-
Zoom.
We're using Zoom.
We're using Zoom. No, the entire system needs to be revamped. Imagine me telling you something so great, but guess who made it? One of my two favorite mayors, Mayor Jackson and Mayor Franklin made it. When
Yes.
Mayor Jackson was before he became a mayor. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was made to give people a voice, to give black people a voice in the city of Atlanta.
Yes.
Right? We was putting together a group of. They were unionizing. They were unionizing the communities, right?
Yes.
They put together groups in the community to where they would have a voice in a voting block. City council people, the MPUs working perfectly for a city council person. You know what I'm saying? But to people who are trying to affect real change and young dynamic leaders, it ain't moving how
It's
it should.
outdated. It's out, so
That's
like,
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying just to have that sounding block is superior. No one
Yes.
else has that sounding
Yes.
board.
What would you suggest? This should bring us to our you doing what you do, giving Antonio your time, a chance to make any closing thoughts or whatnot. How do we, under your leadership, how do we revamp the NPUs, and what do you suggest we do first? I mean, on day one, when you take office or whatnot, how do we revamp those NPUs? Because I don't think a lot of people even know, Ms. Bonthik, about NPUs.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah,
'Cause this
so
is a new conversation for
You
me.
have to include new people. So the MPUs, the communities are more dynamic now. Communities have stakeholders that won't be leaving, stakeholders that are almost like property owners in the community. Like Pittsburgh Yards is a property owner almost in Pittsburgh. You think Pittsburgh Yard ain't making no decision in Pittsburgh community? You crazy.
Yes.
You think that T.D. Jakes moving into our community and Tyler Perry moving into our community. You know T.D. Jakes moving next door to Tyler Perry?
I did not
didn't
know
know
that.
Yeah, he got the rest of it. Yeah, that's Atlanta.
Hey, y'all. Hey,
He
y'all
got the
heard
rest
that?
of
Can you
it.
go back to that
Learned a
last
lot
comment? I
tonight.
want to pull up a comment that one of our colleges put. Demetrius
but-
Walker just says, Antonio, real quick. He says, I know a lot of great preachers that preach and teach the true word of God in blue jeans and T-shirts. A suit doesn't define you as being a great minister or preacher. Look how Antonio came here today. Antonio is business casual. He got on, man, you look relaxed, bro, but you look like you ready to hit the street and knock
These
on
my
some doors.
canvassing shoes right
I
here.
knew
the
it.
streets
I'm
already.
telling
my
you, bro, I can
canvassing shoes.
tell. This is what I'm saying. So imagine somebody saying, hey, we needed you to come with your overcoat on or blazer on, brother.
I used to dress like that when I worked on Capitol Hill. I left Capitol Hill. But when I was on Capitol Hill, I was superior. I dressed the part.
Yes.
Like, I also believe, like, you're supposed to dress for whatever the assignment
So when
is.
you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do.
I do what Romans do. When I
That's
was on
exactly
Capitol
right.
Hill, you know what I learned? We didn't take off our jacket. Our jackets matched our pants.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I tell Tyrese, we're going to get your knot right. We're going to get your knot right.
Yes.
I tell, you know what I'm saying? Like, because when I was on Capitol Hill, I was in Capitol Hill, but what I promised myself I would never do, lose my voice, lose my accent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of times what they try to do to people from the South is say we dumb because of how we talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine how many times they told me I sound like a runaway slave. Black people
Wow.
did. You know what I'm saying? That was the joke. It was crazy because I sound like, but in Atlanta I sound proper, right?
Yes. Yes.
But everywhere else, sound like a runaway slave. That's what I heard black people say behind my back. Because you got to imagine, also in this game we in, political science, it's a
Yes.
rich man game.
Yes.
That's who study politics.
Yes.
And I wasn't rich.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I come from the humblest of beginnings. We used to have 22 people live in our house. You know what I'm saying? We used to sleep head and feet. And what I said, we used to sleep head to feet. We used to fight over pillows, and I had a pillow every night. And some people who used to sleep head to feet in me in jail for murder. You know what I'm saying? I had a pillow every night. So I was with that. I was with
So
whatever
you
was
willing
with.
to fight for that pillar like you're going to fight for your district in District
Same
12.
way. Same way.
So let me ask you this. With everything you've just said on this couch in the last hour, what would you say to someone who's still a skeptic?
Like Ms. Bonthik who said,
I'm
every
not a
time you
political
think about,
person.
tell them what
Because
you said, Ms. Bonthik.
every time I think about politics, I think about liars.
Yes.
Because prime example, and I'm not afraid to say it. When we had this recent presidential election, you got Trump versus Biden. Who's the lesser of the two evils? Because it's a lot of stuff. Everybody voted for Biden because he's supposed to shut down this and shut down that for 6 to 8 weeks when he got into office to help control this pandemic and this virus and da-da-da-da. We ain't shut down yet. Technically, Atlanta ain't never shut down.
Atlanta kept pushing.
But that part of that is our governor. He's retarded too. But that's my personal opinion. That is not a view of the Walking with Walt podcast. Well, it might be. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that off camera.
I'm fine with that too.
No.
But
I'm saying because like you said, because I want to make sure we stay focused on.
Right.
I ain't never about this question either. I like this.
But what would you say to somebody like me who, I love everything you said.
Yeah.
You all have really and truly educated me on a lot. And even though District 12 is not my direct community, we have students at my school who come from your district.
Yeah.
So what
school are you at?
I'm at Best Academy. I'm over off Bankhead.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But what would you say to somebody like me who lives in that community, but I still see the worst part of the community? Mm-hmm. And I hear you, but you're still not penetrating that part of me that'll make me vote for you.
Yeah. And some people gonna be like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I want every vote you can get. I fight for every vote you can get. Man, I'd be like, forget you. No, I'm just messing with you.
Right.
No, but a lot of times I probably would say that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I just gave you everything I got. I don't even know if I got more, and I ain't trying to sell you on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see, that's the thing. Most
I ain't trying to
politicians,
sell you on nothing.
you selling these
you
dreams.
selling yourself. You selling yourself
Right.
as a politician. You selling yourself. So I would hope to believe that in our community, we ain't never had nobody from our community to represent it. I'm literally, when we talk about the 29% of Atlantans are below the poverty line. 4% make it out. I'm the 4%. Like, once you 29%, that means 100 of y'all, only 4 out of 100.
So
If
how
you
do
teaching
we get it
kids
right?
at South Atlanta. When you teaching kids in South Atlanta, do you know they basically 4 out of 100?
Yes.
You know that's a real thing.
That's
The
a
kids you
real
teaching
tangible
at
number.
best is 4 out of 100. Basically, 4 of them gonna make it.
As a city councilman, how do we get that number from 4 to 14?
Bring back the guaranteed jobs that dynamic leadership
resources.
brought us. They gave us dynamic. I failed. I was on my face. I flunked out of college. I went to Shirley Franklin's office, had a conversation with her with Jesse Jackson in the office with her. She didn't care. She read my email, let me sit next to Jesse Jackson. I just popped up at her office. You get what I'm saying? This was 2006 after I just flunked out of college. She said, look, I said, man, I want to go to Morehouse or Clark or Georgia State. She said, you getting out of my city. She introduced me to Dr. Sherman Buns and Jesse Hill Jr.
Oh, I know Dr. Buns.
And Dr. Buns. I went to Lincoln University through Dr. Buns. She introduced me to Dr. Buns and Dr. And you know what that did? Sent me to Lincoln. She told the folks at Lincoln, y'all want me to come to Lincoln? Y'all want me to keep sending y'all kids? I'm gonna tell you what you gotta do. Help this boy right here graduate. I graduated, but I didn't just graduate. I spoke at commencement. I was the first student in 30 years to speak at commencement. I was the
Really?
president of the university too when I graduated. My first day in class, I had on a tank top. You know what I'm saying? So
But
just imagine
I
that.
get what she did though. You want me to do something for you, I need you to help pour back into somebody from my community.
And that's what I'm telling you, the city of Atlanta. We are Atlantis. We the golden place, man. When you come into our city, you do business with our city, you invest in our kids.
You know I had to
And
do
I
this,
hope
man.
I hope that
I was waiting. You run
I
upstairs
didn't-
for
I
every
didn't- I
show.
didn't give a book.
you
I
got to
didn't
know
give
who
a
that
book,
is.
but, hey,
I
let's
got the
think about
book.
this, man.
I got all his books.
Yeah, I got the book, but since I got my stuff packed up, you see, this is a poster that I got here from many years ago. But look at how it coming full circle right here. That
Did you know
this
I knew
brother
Dr.
right here-
Buns?
No, that's what I'm saying. So
You
that's
didn't know he
why.
a Lincoln alum?
No, I didn't.
He the president of he brought Dr. Buns is whatever you could be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
To me.
The
Wow.
brother
That's why I
is
say he stood
brilliant.
over the
So
wall.
what
That's
I
all
want
I'm
to
talking
say is
about.
this right here. I think you have an obligation once you become the city councilman, because I know you're going to go real hard. I'm hoping, wishing you the best. Whoever's going to be out there running against you, I don't know if the incumbent is going to continue to run for her seat.
She is.
She is going to run for her seat. But I want to just say, man, I wish you the best. I hope we can bring you back here.
Oh, that's not
Dr.
He
Buns.
already said he was coming back.
Oh,
Yeah,
we locked
and
in.
I will say what Ms. Barn Thick said, hell, y'all know how I feel about the governor. That man right there
Ms.
ain't got the
Barn-Thick.
sense of
And I stand on everything I said.
Yeah, and what I'm
He
saying,
ain't at
and
the
it's not
table, he on
political.
the menu. in politics. You ain't at the table, you on the menu.
That's
I like
exactly
that.
right. So, brother, right now, man, let me say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're busy. Thank you for coming in here, fielding questions. Hey, for anybody out there in District 12, when you watch this replay, I tell people, I don't even care who's on the original play. I need you guys to share this with people in District 12. The brother came here. He gave you an opportunity to ask any question you wanted to ask. We gave you his information. You can follow him on his social media platforms. We will have him back. I'm hoping that we'll have him back here, man, on a victory celebration, Ms. Bowen. Well, we even be out in another venue. So we won't be in the G spot. We will actually have us a venue. We will be live at his campaign. Once the person concedes or whatnot.
We'll be live at the office.
We will be live at we'll be at the office or wherever you guys.
We're gonna have it somewhere nice, man. We're gonna have y'all there. We're gonna have it somewhere nice.
DJ 271, we want to be set up. We want to be able to say we were here when this brother. But we know you were already doing the work. Yeah. But we want you to know, man, that we support you here at the Walking with Walt podcast. We want to make sure that whatever we can do to assist you. This is not talk. This is not political for me. Yeah. Like we said, we do political work. Some of my mentors, I have one of my brothers with Letters Make Man. He's running for state labor commissioner. We have brothers who are down at the Golden Dome who's doing work down in Savannah with Molly and whatnot. We have Brother Bozeman who has probably helped everybody I know, who is trying to do some real work. I'm going to make sure, man, I facilitate you guys having the discussion. And like I said, I don't care nothing about what happens in the discussion. Yeah. My thing is I have an obligation as a brother in the community who is an activist. You know what I mean? To make sure I put two people who care about that district. These guys are from that district. Bozeman off Pryor Road. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're from that district. Who better to have than two people from that district to have a conversation? And we don't care if they agree or disagree. We're talking about politicians.
I think we're gonna agree on most stuff.
Yeah, but you know what
because you know what you're doing. This is your community.
Yes.
Yeah, we ain't talking about nothing crazy. We talking about getting the resources back.
Everything
Everything back. And when you move in Tyler Perry, we got Tyler Perry's in our district. There are two high schools in our district. Thera, South Atlanta, not Tri-City.
Yes.
He's in our district.
Yes.
You move into our district, get him something. That's all.
Hey, man.
I didn't realize that Thera was in your district.
Yeah, that's why Thera and Thera.
Because I was getting ready to ask you about Carver. Carver is not considered District 12?
Some of the Carver students come in, but Carver is actually District 1. Gerrymandering to the fullest.
Ooh. That's how the line look. That line, y'all.
Oh, you don't need.
And I do have another.
It go down Pryor.
I would like to ask.
That's what I'm saying. In the Beltline, like when I look at what they're doing with the Beltline, if you come down Metropolitan.
The Beltline is Mary Norwood's idea.
Really?
You think? Well, I don't want to go there yet. I don't want to go.
So we got some conversations to have off camera.
Yeah, and can I say this right here, Ms. Bowen? This is just me. This has nothing to do with our special guest tonight. I think these black mayors who they've had recently, they are setting up the city for Mary Norwood. So because by the time they're finished with the Beltline, Mary will have a Beltline, she will have her city, and they will be able to say, black mayors, y'all handed this off to her. So you can't blame anybody, So, hey, as we get ready to go to our break, we're going to give the last word to Antonio Lewis. Let him have any final thoughts, share with the city anything that you have going on, anything they can do to get to know you a little better, to earn for you to earn their vote. Because we know at the end of the day, power does rest in the hand of the people. Antonio, any final thoughts for the people?
Yep. So Atlanta's the only city in the world that has had 40 years of strong black leadership. That 40 years of strong black leadership has done some good things and some bad things. But the thing is, we're also the only city that didn't try to do other things with our money. What I mean by that is, we ain't never even talked about reparations in Atlanta. Nobody even brung up the word ever. We used to have guaranteed jobs. Why we ain't talking about guaranteed jobs no more? When we talk about, Mayor Franklin paid every single student who graduated from a City of Atlanta high school $14 an hour in 2005.
2005. People not making that kind of money in 2021.
I just want to let you know that she gave that to 18, 17-year-olds and 18-year-old students. And it was all of us. She gave all of us laptops. Why does Allison not have a laptop?
And that was in 2000 and what?
2005. Matter of fact, I got 2 laptops. I got one in 05 and one in 06.
And this 16 years later,
And
we are working
we
for.
went worse. We
Yes.
went worse, but
We're
we
going
have
backwards.
more Fortune 500 companies in Atlanta than we did.
So are we holding them accountable? And how many do you have in your
Here's the
district?
thing.
And will you hold them
They
accountable?
all in my district. We got the airport, man. Everybody
We got
got
the
something at the
airport.
airport.
So
Yeah,
what is the
Porsche.
airport doing, and how do they give back to
The
your
airport used to
district?
have a plane in South Atlanta.
I remember that.
I think the Porsche should have a car in South Atlanta, and the airport should have a
No,
car
they
in
got
South
rid
Atlanta.
of the auto mechanics program at our school and gave all the equipment away.
Because they said they couldn't get as many people to join into the program, right?
I won't talk on camera
but can
about
I tell
that.
you what- can
but
I
I
tell
will
you-
say though that program right there, it actually mirrored a real shop. I know a kid who's actually working for MARTA right now. His educator, who was my partner at the school, she still stays in contact. She's at MARTA right now. And this lady right here, I just say, man, Miss Tennant, this lady was the bomb. She gave those kids every opportunity. I would come in there, get my oil
Yep.
changed, get my tire. They were
And
changing
it could
and
be a service
rotating.
to the community.
Yeah, it was
Was
a
it a
great
class?
service to the community. It was a full shop with what's this shop name with the red stripe when you go in there? It's a shop, gray and red are their colors or whatnot.
And the car is gone. I thought Ford gave us a car or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, there might be somebody up there doing because that whole room has been converted to like the person who's going to be over theater or whatnot. That's his room. There was a whole shop, and we have a great theater program.
And
as
if
well.
we get theater, Tyler Perry up the street.
Yes.
It makes sense.
The one thing I'm trying to let you understand, Porsche, Tyler Perry, Reverend T.D. Jakes.
Yes.
All
And the
of them came
airport.
into our community and the airport. We just want y'all to invest in our kids.
Yes.
I think you judge a man by how you treat the people that need the most. I think you
Yes.
judge a city by the same way, by how you treat the people that need the most, senior citizens and students. And I think that as we have not invested in our kids the last 20 years, the social mobility in the city of Atlanta has went down to almost to 4%. We used to be a beacon of social mobility.
Yeah.
If I'm elected, guaranteed resources will go back into the folks that need it. You know what I'm saying? Our kids too smart.
I hope that you are elected on November the
Second.
2nd.
We're gonna win
Hey, you guys,
the
look,
early
man.
vote.
I need you guys, man, to follow Antonio Lewis, ATL, November the 2nd. This is crucial right here, you guys. I'm watching it. I live in the district. Some of you guys have seen me ride through on Brown Mill Road and just show y'all down in the cut where I told people for about 5 years, they're getting ready to make this. And when I rode through, there are $250,000 houses
Now
that
they're
if you.
350.
Are you serious?
Hey, 350.
350,
And higher.
man. And I told kids, those bandos right in Dead Man Curve right there. When you're coming down Dead Man Curve, I told the kids, those bandos, y'all see bandos, other people see opportunity. The house that I've been wanting for the last 5 years, I showed 271, we were over there, across from the gas station where everybody used to hang out at. Not the one, up the street that you were referring to.
On Brown Mill?
The one on Brown Mill and Cleveland Avenue. There's a house directly across the street that I've been eyeballing for like 6 years. And I'm saying, I wanted that house.
That corner lot.
Can I
There's a
tell
big-
you?
Corner lot.
Can I tell you what used to go in that house? See, I'm from the community. That's
Yes.
where I grew up at.
Yes.
I actually own a house right down the street from there on Altaview.
Okay.
I bought my grandmama a house back. My granddad a
I
house
saw that
back.
on your social
And
media.
They tried to take it, get it back, like I was fishing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I reeled it on in.
Yeah.
But the house right there that you talking about used to be a trap house, right? It used to be a rumor house.
I want that
only,
house.
I can only imagine how many rooms it probably has. You see all the land that it has,
Yes,
but
yes.
it's been like that for probably about 20 years.
I know, because I've been looking at it
20
ever since
to
I've been in
30,
South Atlanta.
20
But
years.
Wow.
in the last 5 years, I say I want it, but I don't even want to say on the show what I want it for. But I would love to work with you because it's something that will bring revenue back into the community. But it's not a traditional thing.
Okay.
I would just say this right here. We know about a quarter mile down the road from that house, there are some things that's going on, and we know that they're going to develop some real estate around that nice facility that we got down the hill right there. I want to make a shop for those people who go out there and utilize that. I want us, though, to control it. So when you get ready to go down that hill and you spend those quality dollars to be out there on this sport that, only a few of us are actually engaged in, relatively speaking.
A few of us. Do you know everybody on Cleveland Avenue? The people that smoke drugs on Cleveland Avenue all know how to play golf. Everybody on Cleveland Avenue used to know how to play golf.
What happened?
They stopped investing in our community. Atlanta is a different city. Every hood had its own golf course. My grandma, when we bought that house over there,
Yes.
we moved to the suburbs, man.
That was
Cleveland
it.
Avenue, middle class.
Yes.
That was like those houses right around.
Yeah.
We own. That's why gentrification hit us the soft and slow. Like Atlanta, we own. They just opened us up. The city council opened up our city for gentrification. They couldn't get in. You know what I'm
Are you
saying?
familiar with the Gulch?
I am.
So nobody's talking about the Gulch anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're talking about billions of dollars now. And when we bring you back, so because
I know we got to go, but you know
Yeah.
why?
Go ahead.
They made a plan without a fiscal component to it. So like you would never let no man sit down and tell you something like, hey, we're gonna do this without telling you how much it costs, right?
Right.
Or without telling you how you're gonna have the money to pay for it.
Right.
We made plans. We make plans in the city of Atlanta without telling each other how we're gonna pay for it because there's no law that says we have to pay for plans that we make. So like the climate change plan that we're gonna be by 2035, we're supposed to be like climate ready, the most climate friendly city in America. Ain't no money behind it. How you got a plan? You ain't got no money behind it. Am I tripping?
No, we gotta have money.
But that's us.
kinda
That's
hard
how
to take it serious.
outdated this stuff is. That's why I say, look, we're a big city, but not for real. That's why I'm laughing. I mean, not laughing. That's why I'm working my butt off to get this race, and I'm laughing whenever when people, some people they don't want me because they've been so, they don't want to see no kind of change, and it gets a little funny to me because I'm like, man, they running a circle around us. Bro, you know what you
And you're
bought
allowing
in.
it to happen.
And it's a lot of times like, man, you know what your husband bought into. Your husband bought this house. My granddad bought this house. You know how T.I. said, my granddad bought this house.
Yeah.
And my granddad bought that house I was in. He knew what he bought into. He was a strong black man. He bought the one by the golf course.
Well, I'm
He
gonna
knew.
ask you one last question, brother. And with this one last question, hopefully this will bring us back. In my entrepreneurship class, we talk about the business model canvas. And I want to just ask you, man, under Antonio Lewis' leadership, will it be the business model canvas or business as usual?
Our business model. But I don't think that government should be business. I think a government job ain't to be a business job to take care of folks
Okay.
as well. So, but business model canvas.
Yes, and when I say that, we understand that there's the thin line, and we're not asking like you to be that. But I think anybody who's gonna be in our district, Ms. Bowen, I think this is my personal belief. You got to have a business mindset. Because just like you said, that's kind of like giving all these false narratives and everybody. I tell people, I've seen enough first black this and first black that. That doesn't excite me anymore.
No.
I don't need anybody telling me about, hey, we're going to have quality schools on the south side.
That don't
Bro, I've
excite.
been at this school for 10 years. I literally asked somebody, when are they going to do South Atlanta? And somebody said, oh, no, they already done South Atlanta. I said, no, I'm not. This South Atlanta, the high school. They said, yeah, we've
They
already
already
done
did
our
it.
renovation on
They
South
did in
Atlanta.
2015. 13.
Seriously?
I worked there. I was there in 2015.
They did in 13, I meant.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I got there around that time right there, and they said we had just done the renovation. I can't tell.
They kicked our kids out of school for like 4 years. Derek Favors really went to school at Harper Archer or some school. on the
Yeah,
west side.
over there on the west side. So
That's
everybody
how
was
they-
using that
So
school.
what did they do to the building?
Then they said it was a historic building. They couldn't only do certain things.
But they
to it.
said that about Thera when they did Thera. I don't work at both the
They
schools.
lying to us.
With Thera, they look, Alex, they
They
told out.
lying to
Look
us.
at
'Cause they
Thera.
showed
He
redid
went there.
Doug.
Look at this though. At Thera, y'all. Hey man, for everybody from Atlanta, I want y'all to go over there on Cleveland Avenue, Panther Trail. They actually they redid the middle section. 271, you know I'm not making this up.
Yeah, I remember.
They said they couldn't redo over there where the auditorium was in the gym.
Why?
This
Well,
is somebody
paint
I
it
don't work at
then.
Thera.
Tell
no
us
more, but I
why.
can tell
It
you
might
this.
be a reason why. Yes, I have money for being historic. If we're gonna be historic, guess what I
Yes.
do? I believe you.
So
But man, when you talk about Alex, if somebody tear down this house right here because we had a rodent problem, and you say, well, we ain't gonna tear down this side of the house right here, that rodent problem, all the rodents that, when you tore it down there,
They
what are they
gonna
gonna
move
They
over
gonna
here.
move over here. I was in that building, man. I'm telling you, but
Okay.
I was in that building. I literally heard something one day in the ceiling. Now, if it's one thing I'm scared of, bro, I'm not scared of no pit bull. I'm not scared of no
Rats.
rat.
Rats
You
is
already know.
Hold on, bro. That's just so you gotta learn. You can't fight no rat. I know we gotta go.
Bro.
She trying to keep us on point, and we
Yeah.
no,
we are
it's not
disrespecting
even
you.
that. No, it's not even that because
My fault.
with what you're saying with Thero and what you're saying with
And
South
those both
Atlanta.
of my schools.
But
yeah.
I went to Doug. Doug was built. We called it a prison when we were in school because there was no windows.
Yeah.
So how did Doug get the major renovation that it got?
Oh, I can
Yeah.
tell you why. Collier Heights. What school y'all go to? What school Collier Heights go to?
That's Doug.
That's Doug. That's Douglas Club.
What's the come on now?
We already know.
See, I didn't grow up in that area.
I know, but you gotta know they still go to your school.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Them tax dollars for real.
And then could you say then when they got rid of the projects on the west side or whatnot, now people are gonna want to start coming back towards Doug. So we were preparing for the post Bowen Home, Post
Bankhead
Hollywood, Post Etheridge and all that stuff
no,
right there.
Etheridge
Bankhead
still
Court.
there.
Oh, Etheridge still
That's all.
there.
Them my
But
students.
they was running
Okay.
a circle around us, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, maybe people started to
Wow.
like reinvest in that because they're planning for the new Doug and not the Doug. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Nah, I don't think that. I think that the city of Atlanta, we ain't have no problem. I think that black people and white people are in the city of Atlanta.
Yes.
They've been agreeing for a long time. I don't think we ain't been butting heads the way.
Yes.
I think that the folks that they've been agreeing with forgot about Thurl in South Atlanta and those, you know what I'm saying, the
Yeah, 'cause
students on the
it's
south
funny.
side.
When
They
you-
left
It's
us
very
out.
clear.
I feel like they left us out.
Because when you look at North Atlanta, I want to say this right quick. I want to ask you, Ms. Bonte, because you guys are from Atlanta. I literally did not know what North Atlanta looked like. It just so happened I went to that Louisiana restaurant out there. Y'all know the out there right up the street from North Atlanta High School. What's the name of this restaurant? Always packed around brunch time on
Copeland's.
Copeland's. That's exactly what I was. And something told me don't get back on the interstate. Just
Ride down.
down the scenic route. I always hear everybody talking about 201 North Atlanta. I had never seen it. I went the scenic route. You already knew what I was about to say. I'm going down the hill. I see a state patrolman out there. Must have been sunny. He's directing traffic. So when I see the state patrolman, of course, naturally, like you said, I go ahead and hit brakes a little bit just because I'm coming pretty good. And then I look over to the left. I said, wow, I wonder what that beautiful building is.
North Atlanta.
So as I get down the hill, I see the sign that say North. I'm like, hold on. Bro, that easily could dub as a junior college or something.
But you know South Atlanta should have everything North.
Everything
Atlanta
they
has-
got. That's
got
my
the
point.
same
So on our
exact
next
land.
show, that's what I want to get to with you. I'm biased. I didn't talk a lot about education. I want to know, what are you going to fight for? Whoever that new board member is going to be for our district, if there's a new board member.
East gonna win, I think.
He says going. So I want us to like see how does the city councilman and that school board member get together with the community, this NPUs and all these people to ensure that our kids have everything North Atlanta. I'm not talking about well, we don't pay as much in taxes.
That's
Man, that's crap. Our children, just like you said, if they can make a way out of no way with no computer and still be sitting out here thinking about how can we design something for this water
Imagine what
shortage.
Allison would do to one of them.
Then imagine Anthony Mitchell. If you give
Eat
Anthony
them for
Mitchell the
lunch,
same
dinner, breakfast,
resources.
And go home and talk about it.
Yeah.
Go home and talk. That's
And it wouldn't even phase her.
man, what? Cause her hands in the mud. You know what I talk about? Me and my kid. I talk to everybody like her. We got our hands in our mud. Our head just up sometimes.
Yes, yes.
We look up sometimes. We know where we going.
Yeah.
But our hands in the mud. You know what I'm saying? We willing to do it all. Like
Yes.
me and Tyrese yesterday, we were
I know
paying
we got
somebody.
to
Yeah,
close
we gotta
out.
go.
After this
All right,
stage.
we gotta go.
Check this
Yeah,
out,
you're
man.
good,
Hey,
you're
y'all,
good. I appreciate
one
you.
thing, do what
Because
you
we're
do.
going to continue the conversation
Yes.
off camera because there is a situation I would love to get your opinion on. I brought it to your attention not too long ago, but I kind of scratched the surface with it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if I'm comfortable talking about it on camera
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and close out like we normally do. We started out with you giving final words, and then it went into a
you
whole
got
nother conversation.
Yes, sir. You
So
wanna
this,
close us on
I'll close it on out. First and foremost, thank you. Thank you for coming to the G Spot. Thank you for sitting in the hot seat. Because when we put it out there that you were coming, we had a lot of people saying that they had some real questions for you. Thank you for, if nothing else, at least now making me, the skeptic, a believer in what you're doing, because you've already done the groundwork prior to you getting into office. So that puts me, if I was in your district, that would put my mind at ease to say, okay, I see what he's doing already. So if you're doing this now, once you get in that seat and you get everything you need behind you, I know you're going to push it as hard as you can, because now you have the resources to do so.
And it ain't my money.
There you go. So what we want to do, we want to make sure all of our followers, all of our listeners follow you at Antonio Lewis ATL, straight out. We're going to keep it at that, Antonio Lewis ATL on Instagram,
And Twitter.
Twitter,
and
Facebook. Okay. Make sure that those of you who are in District 12, those of you who know people in District 12, share this podcast tonight, because there is a lot of information that you all need to know about your community. This young man is putting in the blood, sweat, equity, the tears, the whole 9 yards. And if you don't understand how these kids are responding to him, we always say our children are our future. He's helping to breed that future that we need. Because some of these kids aren't getting what you're giving.
Yep.
I need you to go to some other districts.
You ain't got the resources yet.
You know, it's coming. So what we definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe to Walking with Walt podcast on Facebook, on Instagram, our YouTube page. Walt, do you have any words?
Yes, I just want to say, man, I saw people checking in down in Fort Valley.
Yes.
Antonio mentioned some things. I apologize. I didn't get a chance to say. Somebody said that that's my hometown, Fort Valley.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Patrick Muhammad, man, who has his farm right out there on Jones Road. That brother right there is so dedicated to Fort Valley and keeping his money in the black community that whenever he gets his cows and stuff, you know, he does the meat. He always takes his stuff down to Fort Valley to get it done.
What, Jones Road over by
Jones
me?
Road, yes, right out there by
You
Langston
know why?
Mills or whatnot.
You know why? Another reason why?
Why's that?
That's the only place they got it done. We ain't got nothing up here. The meat cutter.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, he's giving back to that
Oh, yeah.
that agricultural school that you talk about, which is our UGA.
yep.
He easily could take his to UGA.
Yeah, he got to go out. Yep. Why he got to be forced to go down there? My fault, but keep going.
But what I'm saying is though, like until we get that extension
Yep.
campus up here, or we get something that can do that, that brother is already keeping his money within the community.
Yep.
He's already out there doing the work in the community. Hell, I rode the first horse I ever rode. I rode it on his farm, and this is literally right down the street from Langston Hughes High School. So when we talk about exposure, the stuff that Antonio is talking about, the stuff that you just mentioned, Ms. Boyd, I'm saying to you guys, man, I can't even think of the name. I feel so embarrassed right now. I think it's called Your Farm or something. I will come up with the name.
I'll find out because that's in my
271, we
backyard.
get a chance, we need to make sure we say that, man. Hey, I just want to say I love y'all, man. Everybody who hung in here with us, I thank you for joining us. We will actually keep replaying this, reposting this right here. Antonio Lewis gave us a lot to think about tonight. I have some more questions I wish I could have asked, but as we get closer to the election, Ms. Shepherd, we're giving you a chance to come and sit on the hot seat. Ms. Boyd thinking I'm calling you out. Antonio Lewis has told us what he's trying to do for the district. He's already showed us what he has done for the district. But now the question is, what will you do as of November the 3rd? Once we've counted all the votes on November the 2nd, November the 3rd happens, will you be the same brother out here going hard in the paint? Ms. Shepherd, if you want to come and contend or contest or do whatever you want to do, because I know that he is signed, sealed. Only thing we're waiting on is for him to be delivered. But you have the same opportunity coming here. So, hey, we'll see you guys next time, man. Walking with Walt podcast, Miss Boyd Thing.
Mr. Awaken the Genius.
Yes, and DJ 271, the
Yes,
Smile
sir.
Creator, y'all. Deuces, y'all be
Good
easy.
night.
What?
Hold on.